The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, that's the route down known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, that's the route down known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house for some late night true crime. If you here for some true crime, you in the right place. Tonight, we're talking about the search for Jack and Lilly Sullivan. A lot of new details emerged today. A lot of mind-blowing stuff about Malaya running off with the baby. And, of course, Daniel speaking out and talking about what he believes have happened to these kids. Not only that, but family members of Malaya giving interviews all over the internet saying that Malaya has put these kids in a vehicle, and this all has to do with her leaving Daniel. But like I said, Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories mixed with a little bit of comedy. Don't take nothing here as fact. Just my opinion, people. Completely satire. We will be taking calls tonight. The callers' opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on the Dolly. Also, just remember, everyone is innocent to proving guilty in a court of law. And the biggest one of them all, and you guys should know this, do not, and I repeat, do not try to be Dolly at home. It is extremely dangerous. Now, of course, you still need to leave your DNA on the like button just in case you go missing in the hills of Tennessee or in the deep woods of Nova Scotia and Malaya takes off with you. I'm going to have to come track that woman down. So I'm going to need your DNA on file. Guys, we are less than 50 people away from hitting 69,000, right? That's a whole big old razzle dazzle there. That's a lot of damn people. And who don't like a good number like 69? It's just a good number. It has a good sound to it, right? Has a good sound to it. And you can help me get to that number by subbing up, ringing the bell for notifications, and sharing my ugly face all over the place. Okay? All over the place. So a lot of people today were doubting what I said about Daniel coming into the room. A lot of people in the early morning hours believed it was a bunch of BS and that Malaya hasn't took off. Well, of course, now other channels have ran with it and they've added to it, and more details are emerging in the story. Now, like I said, Daniel shared a lot of information last night, which was good of him to keep talking because, listen, when there's a missing kid case like this, the best thing to do is to tell everything you know and don't hold anything back because in a missing kid case, time is of the essence. Okay. Every day that goes by are less chances of these kids being found. Now there's some rumors that they've heightened up security at the border. I'm just hearing a bunch of different stuff, but right now it's all just pure speculation, rumors that are going around. We don't know truly because we are not there. Um, so we're going to jump into this video from a YouTube creator. And I thank him for giving us a shout out today. This YouTube creator has 631,000 subscribers. And this is what I like to see because, you know, the more pressure we put on and the more smaller YouTube channels talk about this, it's bigger people pick it up. And that's the importance, the awareness of it. Okay, this YouTube creator is Joseph Morris. Now, I had never heard of Joseph Morris until today, and he tagged me in a video where he basically gives a shout out because, you know, Michaela's family member did come up here and call in and give us information originally that Malaya had packed up and ran, and she took baby Meadow with her, which breaks the CPS order. Now, a lot of people said, Dolly, that can't be true. They would have issued an Amber Alert, okay? They didn't issue an Amber Alert when Jack and Lily went missing. I don't know if they're too quick to be throwing out these Amber Alerts in Canada. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm one of those people that believe in don't shoot the messenger. Hey, Tiffany. You know, I just repeated what Daniel had came in here and said. So I also took screenshots of everything that was said. So that way, you know, because the chat room was moving so fast last night, there was probably 2,000 people here that I couldn't keep up with everything. Okay, somebody says Joseph Morris makes things up. Well, a lot of YouTubers make things up. I can name 50,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of them make up stuff. I mean, I don't know why they do it. I don't know. But I don't know the gentleman very well, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him because I don't know him. I don't know what he does. But we're going to watch a little bit of his video because I didn't get a chance to watch it today. So we're going to watch it together. And, of course, we're going to open up the phone lines. We're going to take some calls. But the point is I'm trying to make is when I've seen how many subscribers he had, I was like, thank you, Jesus, right? Because that's what we want. We want bigger people to pick up the story. So more people are made aware of this around the country, especially the United States, because it's not getting a lot of press here in the United States. Now, if we could get mainstream media to pick up this, and this is how they do it. Littler YouTubers start talking about it, bigger YouTubers start talking about it, and then national networks start talking about it. So it's all about the process of getting this story jumping and popping. And today, we shook up the internet a little bit. We had everybody talking. And that's what it's about. Okay, that's what it's about. Just straight awareness, spread it far and wide as we humanly possibly can. So there's some justice for these kids, right? Now, if these kids are being hid, like people are starting to think today, right, that they're still alive and they're out there somewhere, and Malaya knows, this would be a miracle, guys. Now, it looks like if she did something like this, we know she would go to jail, right? We know she would go to jail, but she wouldn't go to jail as long as she would for unaliving her kids. Now, we got to remember, I sent you an email, Dolly. OG Dolly is going to capitalize. Well, listen, Joseph Morris is a scammer who makes false videos and claims he did it in Gabby and Callie case. Okay, well, I'm not familiar with him, but we're going to go over his video. If you don't like the guy, that's perfectly fine. I can't control who people like or dislike. I just know that he was talking about the interview that was done here, and he gave us a little shout out. He has 631,000 subscribers. So I figured the least I could do is check out his video and see what's going on, because I didn't hear nothing about Malaya putting the kids in a car. Okay. So let's check this out. Let me share the screen with you. And we probably won't watch the whole thing, but we're going to watch a little bit of it before we get into taking calls.
A big if, because it's been a long time, but I still believe there's a very good chance there.
Mm-hmm.
If those kids are still alive, and if they're where I think they are, if you to the god idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and you know it. The last couple of days, they know we're zeroing in on them. And if you panic and hurt those kids, thinking that you're going to hurt them and get rid of them and not get nailed, you're wrong. Because we're already very close to having you. Bring those kids to the light of day.
After Jack and Lily Sullivan's relative, Derwood O'Grady, came forward with claims that their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, orchestrated their removal from the home, stepfather Daniel Martel has revealed that Malaya has fled her mother's house and is now on the run, with Jack and Lily presumed to be alive. Derwood, from Malaya's side of the family but connected to Daniel through work, spoke to Sonny Austin and Charmaine Swart on It's a Crime and Shame YouTube channel, first appearing on Dolly Vision's platform, spinning a tale that's got tongues wagging. He's adamant Malaya handed the kids off to someone on the property's edge, a theory backed by Daniel's Facebook chat with A Crime and Shame, where he noted the kids' scent, tracked by dogs, vanished at the end of the driveway. Derwood's pushing this angle, hoping to jumpstart the stalled case, though he's skeptical of the Mounties' ability to follow through, despite reporting it to them. The day after the kids went missing, Malaya, her baby Meadow, and her mother, Cindy Murray, hightailed it to Wentworth. Malaya's mother, Cindy, then told reporters that the RCMP barred them from media chats. But a CBC reporter said that just wasn't true. They were only warned to mind what they shared to the media. The relative, Derwood, figures that Malaya caught wind he was onto her, and that caused her to fled to the Sipikanaktuk Reserve.
Okay, sorry. Mute it. So far, he's telling nothing but the truth. I didn't know that his name was Derwood O'Grady. I just knew that he was kin to Malaya, okay? And that he called in and said that Malaya had took off with Meadow. Now, I don't remember him saying anything about, Malaya taking the kids out the house. But if you start to put together that Daniel said he fell asleep for 20 minutes, okay, and he woke up and apparently Malaya was laying back down in the bed, this gave time for Malaya to have handed the kids off to somebody possible, and these kids could possibly still be out there and she's hiding them, because it's kind of weird that the only thing she wanted to take was the birth certificates and a couple of their toys. That guy sounds like Mav. Okay, y'all can hear everything okay, right?
Taking Meadow with her and fleeing her mother, Cindy Murray's house in Wentworth. So he figures that maybe she went there to snag a lawyer for cover as this case is heating up.
And then I believe the person that eavesdropped on me, I intentionally let them eavesdrop on me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe they directly called Malaya, and within a half an hour, Malaya had panicked and grabbed the baby, grabbed Meadow, and took off from Cindy's place, which is her mother's place in Wentworth.
Right.
And that's where she's been staying under 24-hour supervision by CPS. And But anyway, she fought with her mother. Her mother tried to keep her there physically and couldn't keep her there. And Malaya headed, what I was told by the other family members who called me back right away, and that she had grabbed the baby and ran and headed for the reserve in Shubenacadie. Why she would head for the reserve, I don't know. And I don't know for sure if that's where the chief of the Micmac Reserve, it's his brother that's her lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing I can think of in that, and not so, what I don't know, I'll say I don't know. What I know, I know. Now, I don't know exactly why she ran for the reserve, but the only connection I can think of is that her lawyer's there. Maybe she thinks she can get some kind of, I don't know, legal protection or whatever, because I think she realizes that the jig is up. And I think she realized that I knew more than I made an educated guess, and I think I was right, and it made her panic.
Daniel's been
Okay. So he said that does. He's called in Derwood. Is that how you say his name? Derwood O'Grady, a cousin to Malaya. He's called in here a couple times. The first time he said, hey, I suspect my family may be hiding something, and I'm going to stir the pot a little bit. And basically that's what he did. And then the next day he called back again. And at that point he said, look, I think I stirred it up a little bit. They're getting wind of everybody talking. And he believes he knows who has the children. He says he has spoke out with the major crime unit. But here's the thing. He don't want to scare the people. Right? Yeah. He don't want to scare the people because he don't want them to do anything to Jack and Lily, trying to hide them or covering it up at this point. He said he trusts you, Dolly. Well, I'm a pretty trustable person. I'm legit as can be up here. I'm a man of my word. I do what I say. And so he should trust me. There's no reason not to trust me. I haven't done anything to harm any of these people. And I only share information people tell me that I can share, public information. If somebody came to me in private and said, Dolly, I want you to know this, but you cannot tell nobody where it came from, I'm not going to tell. Okay. I'm just not. I'm not the police. I'm not going to tell people. If you want to tell me something in private, then I'll keep it in private. If you don't want me to share that stuff with the internet and you just want me to know it for my knowledge, then I won't share those things. I'm not one of these dirty people that record you and, save text messages and screenshot the shit out of you, stuff like that. I think getting the information out there is the most important. Building trust with people is really important. When people watch you, it's a matter of being relatable. People be like, well, hey, this dude's kind of like me, or, he's just a good old boy, right? Like the dude's a hazard. and this dude's just trustworthy. It's the Southern slang, right? It makes me trustworthy. People are like, man, that's a good dude right there. You can tell him probably anything. And so many people share things with me. Just look over the past 4 years, how much information I've been able to get and share up here with you guys on YouTube, because people feel comfortable enough to talk to me. That's important. That's really important when I can just sit down and talk to anybody. And that's from taking years of phone calls. I can just sit down and chat with anybody, and I make people feel really comfortable really quick, and I think that's a mixture of just being calm and collective and relatable to most of my callers, and that helps. That definitely helps.
Vocal about Malaya's mental state, saying the chatter is messing with her head, especially with Meadow in the mix. Belinda Gray, paternal grandma to Jack and Lily's biological dad, hasn't seen Malaya since Meadow's birth 6 months ago, fueling talk of postpartum struggles. Derwood on It's a Crime and Shame suggested Malaya might be at risk of self-deleting. So before the kids vanished, Malaya and Daniel were butting heads, and she was spilling her beefs about him to the family, which Derwood thinks pushed her to get Jack and Lily out.
What I think happened, what I'm pretty sure happened.
That's pretty much what he said
Malaya,
here too.
They had a few arguments, they had a bad stretch for a while.
Right.
And Malaya was complaining.
Now I do want to stop right there, because Derwood says they were fighting. Okay. But Daniel says they were not fighting. Okay. That they were getting along great. Not only were they getting along great, all the way up when the kids were missing, she was nice to him and hugging and kissing on him. And all the way up until her mama got there and she spoke with her mom in private. And then Shannon, thank you so much for your super sticker. That is awesome of you. You're the first one on the Dolly train tonight. Okay. Buckle up, put your seatbelt on. You never know. It could get bumpy around here. He said they were getting along perfect. And then as soon as the mother came around and she was able to talk to Malaya alone, then Malaya flipped a switch and completely changed. Tammy, thank you. The second one on the Dolly train tonight with us. All right. We're going to be fueling this baby up. All right. Throwing a little gas in the tank so we get it rolling. So I don't know. There's a mixture in this, but was it one of those things where Malaya was getting along or acting like she was fine with Daniel, but secretly she's going to her family saying, hey, this ain't working. I'm not happy. I want out. I mean, it's a possibility, but to go through all this to leave a man, I see that Morris is still in his parents' basement. How the hell is he in his parents' basement when he has 631,000 subscribers? He must be doing fucking good from that basement. Let me tell you, damn. Let me borrow his mama's basement. I could use a few of those subs right there. Good Lord. I don't know how long he's been a YouTuber though. So he may have been on the platform for a good minute, but the first time I heard of him was today.
To some members of the family. And she lost her temper or lost her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was some stuff she said that really wasn't true, but I think she was exaggerating her position. Now, some members of the family took that seriously, and they decided on their own. To look into it, right? And she made a bad mistake. There was some people involved with her. They made a bad mistake thinking they were doing something.
Thank you,
good.
Ducky.
And before they realized what happened, things blew up so quick. The Mounties moved in so quick with the dogs.
Right.
The searchers and everything started so quick that by the time they realized, oh, Jesus, what did we do? It was gone too far. They couldn't back out of it. I'm very sure at this point that Malaya dressed the kids and took them to the roadside and put them in a vehicle. I'm about 80% sure I know who was driving the vehicle. I know who's in the vehicle.
Okay.
And I know who transported the kids. I'm very, very, very close to being 100% on that one. And
okay. Now, why would Derwood O'Grady lie? He seems like an older gentleman. He don't seem like somebody seeking attention. You know, according to him, he is a third cousin. Shannon, thank you so much, Shannon. All right, Shannon's double dipping tonight. Thank you so much. And if you're just tuning in, guys, we got like 1,600 of you here with us. Make sure you just real quickly give this video a like. I'll give you a second, right? Like the video. Don't cheat. I'm watching you. And then once you like the video, I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching my ugly ass face from. Okay. This one right here, uglying up your screen. But first, like the video, and then in the chat room, shout out where you're watching from. I want to see where you beautiful people are at tonight. Thought I'd sent 20, so did 2 10s. Well, thank you, Shannon. That was super awesome of you. Very nice. Thank you. Big virtual hugs to you. I see Tennessee's in the house. New Orleans is in the house. Williamsburg, Virginia. My neighbors. Okay. OH. Ohio's in the house. Australia, Florida. Duck Love. Okay. Kentucky, California. Arkansas, Mississippi, Southwest Mississippi, Louisiana. Do we got a bunch of Nova Scotia with us tonight? Jackson, North Carolina, Chicago, Bama, New Hampshire, let's see, Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay, we must be neighbors, Diva. All right. Tennessee, New Jersey, Texas, South Carolina, BC, Canada, Ontario, Canada, Mexico, Delaware. Okay, we got a little bit. Derwood is on again, being on a criminal shame. He is a busy boy. He knows Daniel, so he can bring Daniel to talk with you, Dolly.
Matt was right about this one.
I talked
Finally,
to
I got one.
I talked to Daniel last night. We gave him a mod wrench. Maybe he'll pop in tonight. I don't know. He did tell me yesterday that he had to meet with CPS today. I really like to know how that went and what they said about the situation with Malaya, because even Daniel told me, he said, listen, Meadow is like Malaya's diamond, okay? Ducky, thank you for being a member for 3 months. Central Valley, California. And if they take Meadow from Malaya, she may hurt herself. Okay. And which that's bad. Yes, CPS meeting should be interesting. There was a video of interview. Well, he said he had some interviews to do today with the media and that he had to meet with the CPS this morning. That's the reason he jumped off last night. They took the baby. Now, I haven't heard anything about taking the baby. Now, the last I heard was last night. He said that Malaya had left her mama's house and took Meadow with her, and he didn't know where they were at. And he called her, and she answered the phone. And as soon as she heard his voice, she hung up. You can't find the video of Daniel last night. It's the one that says Daniel stops by for a chat. Okay. That is the title of the video. Derwood said they took the baby from her. Okay, is this recent? Is this something new, Mama Angel? Angie. Okay, sorry. I ain't got my glasses on. He said that tonight on Crying Shame. Okay. I haven't heard that yet. Maybe we'll pull their video up in just a minute. Connie gifted 5 Dolly memberships. Okay, so where they were able to find her then? You gave him a wrench? Yeah, he has a wrench, so I know it's him when he comes in. So that way, say somebody tries to come in and troll his name, they can't because his name has a wrench. Okay, the baby's not with her. Okay, well, that is great news. That is absolute great news. That is good to hear because the last I heard that she then took off with the baby. She wasn't with her mama. So in a situation like this, you know, hopefully they put it with a good family member.
When I finish finding out for sure, for absolute sure, then I'm gonna be able.
And somebody, if you could, send that interview from A Crime and Shame over to me and give me a timestamp with it, if you could. Please, one of my mods or somebody in chat.
Leave your DNA. Thanks for being here, everyone.
Yeah, thank you there, Helena, so much for your super sticker. Yeah, and definitely, guys, hit the like on this video. So we're learning. I'm learning some stuff anyway. That, you know, they have custody. They have the baby. Now I've heard mixed things, so I'm not too sure. But right now, it's just a lot of rumors. Does anybody know positively that they have the baby? I like to hear that from Daniel himself.
To find where those kids got delivered, but every indication through everywhere is yes, Malaya knows where they're at, and her bailing today was another large indication to me, because I think she was informed very quickly that I stated a name. I inquired about a name, and I was eavesdropped on, and I dropped the name because
Ducky, it is possible. I mean, you know, but right now there's a lot of finger pointing going back and forth on who did what, you know? So, but when this stuff happens, it gets all that dirt. the thing right now is we need to pull all the bones out the closet, right? If there's some skeletons in their closets,
With all due respect, what are the odds the stepfather is throwing out this info to cover himself? Sorry, inquiring minds want to know. Thoughtful face emoji.
I mean, like I said, it could be possible. But what if though he's actually didn't do it, and he's been getting hammered with everybody accusing him of doing it, right? And he's trying to clear his name any way possible. Now, me, I'm suspicious of everybody until we get some answers, right? Till there's answers for these kids, or these kids are returned safe. Every damn body in Canada is a suspect to me. Okay, if you in Canada, you a suspect. I got my eyes on you.
I wanted to be eavesdropped on.
Right.
The person that was eavesdropping, I was very suspicious of being involved. And before I got back home, I got the phone call that Malaya had grabbed the baby, panicked, and took off.
Logan, a cousin, told a TikToker the stepbrother's brother wasn't living in a trailer on the property. Just Jenny, the stepdad's mom, who saw Malaya looking caught right after the kids were likely whisked away.
Well, here's my understanding on Jane.
And yeah, that is one of the reasons. That is one of the things that Grandma did say, that she came out there and Malaya was on her phone. And it looked like she was just strolling like nothing was wrong. And we heard that from Daniel too, that none of these people were upset that the kids were gone, which is a little strange. But if you knew where the kids were at, would you be upset? Is it possible that when he fell asleep, she called the mom and the mom came and grabbed the kids and there was this handoff? I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I mean, he's painting a good defense.
Janie. Malaya never thought that Janie was home at the time in the morning, that early in the morning.
Right.
Malaya was on the side of the road and Janie showed up and surprised the shit out of Malaya.
She was on the side of the road?
Yeah. I believe this is not fact.
Okay. Speculation.
I can't prove it.
Okay.
I believe that Janie just missed the kid transfer. I believe
Derwood O'Grady, Beth, is like the third cousin to Malaya. Okay. He's Malaya's mom's cousin.
that Janie just missed the kids being put into a vehicle. She didn't know that Janie was home. She never thought Janie was home. So I think her plan was, when those kids went down the road, I think Daniel was sleeping. I think she was going to go back in, take the baby, and bail. But you see, Janie was home and got awakened.
Okay,
thank you. To the side of the road, and that's when.
Did you send me the timestamp with it so we can jump straight to it? Would be cool if you could. If not, we'll just find it.
Well, you've heard Daniel say that she was kind of stunned on the side of the road and looking guilty when he came out, because Janie was already there, and that she was looking guilty and that she was playing with her phone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think like Janie sort of caught her unintentionally and didn't know she caught her. Like, you know, she wondered what she was doing out the side of the road that early.
Right.
And from what I understand, the conversation, Janie never had much. Janie looked at Malaya and said, "What did you do?" And Malaya just stood there stunned. Now that's what I heard. And then,
yeah.
Now this part of this
Tomorrow
I can't prove
Friday.
because I wasn't there.
PJ, here's you a coffee money.
Tomorrow is Friday. PJ, here's your coffee money. Thank you, Peggy. PJ is in bed. Okay. So she had to get some sleep. She got a big day tomorrow. She has work early. So I will make sure she gets that coffee money for you, and I'll tell her who sent it, Peggy.
Right.
Derwood reckons that this was Malaya's shot at a clean break, sending Jack and Lily off before bolting with Meadow. Jimmy Williams of Dolly Vision screamed in a live stream, quote, "Malaya is on the run with Meadow. Be on the lookout. Talked to Daniel last night. He said he would visit Malaya in prison," end quote. And these are the messages of Daniel Martel's YouTube account in his live stream. Daniel says, "Kids are alive. Polygraph exam questions were all on death and everyone passed. She has Meadow."
How did this guy know my name? I'm curious of that. But when I went on Court TV, I'm not like one of these people like Monkey Boy that lie about my identity, right? So I don't care that people know my name. I was just curious how he knew my name. That's damn, this dude does his research.
And is on the run. Malaya is on the run from RCMP. What don't you get? Malaya knows everything. I want Meadow, not Malaya. It's not abduction. That's criminal investigation. It's missing persons case. Yes, she's terrified investigators are close. She couldn't stay around me because she would crack. I would find out. And this apparently linked back to his confirmed YouTube account. The kids are now added to Nova Scotia's rewards program with $150,000 for any solid tips. So, I mean, this case is heating up. So hit subscribe and comment because I read every single one. Thanks, guys.
Okay, I don't know what y'all said about this guy doing bad stuff. I mean, that was a good video. Okay. I mean, he was right on. He's done his research into it, right? So, I mean, when I did my Court TV interview, I went by my name. I didn't go by Dolly, you know. I just told them that, you know, Court TV to shout out my YouTube channel, but my name is my name, you know. So, but so many people call me Dolly because the channel's Dolly Vision that I just go with Dolly. Joseph is a good guy. I thought his channel was good. I mean, I might have to check out some more of his videos and judge for myself. I guess everybody has their opinion. There's people up here that say terrible things about me too. Okay. And I think I'm a pretty decent guy. You know what I'm saying? But I get called scammer, clickbaiter, fucking child exploitator, and all kinds of terrible stuff. And I'm like, and it's usually from people that don't know me or haven't taken the time to watch me, you know. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt when I hear people shit talk them, you know, because I get the same. And it's one of those situations where you can't make everybody happy. Some people are going to love you and some people are just going to hate your damn face, right? I get that a lot. People just hate this face. I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame them. I don't get mad when people hate me. I just is like, but you know, if you took a little bit of time to watch me over a period of time, you would realize that I'm a pretty decent person. I try to be anyway. No, I'm not no damn saint, and I never claim to be, but I think I'm a decent person. All right, so let's jump over to this other interview where Derwood was on. Where did you send it to? Somebody said they sent it to me, but I don't see it in my Facebook. Did you send it to my email? Yeah, they sent it to my email. Watch Missing Girl, by the way. Okay. All right.
150K reward, and that's the one I was talking about. Belinda had told me, but I didn't tell you where that had come from, besides Belinda. So probably, I guess I think I could say that. So it was Malaya that told her that a reward would be coming out, and that's how I knew. And then obviously we saw that today, which is good because whenever there's
okay, well, if he's been making his rounds, I'll go ahead and throw the phone lines open. That way, if any of these people out here lurking in the shadows, they can call in. Okay. Give me a second. Let me pull up the phone number. That don't mean start blowing my phone line up. Okay. Because we want to watch a little bit of this interview and then y'all can blow the phone lines up. But give me 1 second. Let me pull up the phone lines. Just in case Derwood is out there or Daniel's lurking and want to chat, the phone lines are here. Okay, phone line is open. And let's get into this video. Does anybody know the timestamp to where he's up here?
made like a missing case, and after so long, then they go to the 150K reward pile, and you'll see like a list of.
Now, I do want to touch on this. It is a good thing that they Daniel had to be napping after last night. Yeah, he was up here late with us till like 3:30 in the morning. Does anybody know a timestamp for It's a Crying Shame? And there's their link if you want to check them out. Sage just posted it. Because this video was 3.5 hours long. They stream like me for like ever.
Missing people with 150K. So it's nice to see that that's out there. But by the
Thank you,
same
Melissa.
token, you know, obviously that means to me that they're needing someone to come forward with information.
Yes. Okay. You remember in the beginning, the only person that had a reward for these kids was me. It is good to see the RCMP putting a reward out for these kids. Dolly. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Are you live? I just picked up the phone and you were on it.
You just picked up your phone and I was on it?
Yeah. I
If this
didn't
is an
even.
abduction set up by the
I mean, I
mom,
was
can
fixing
the
to call
abductors collect
Domino.
the reward if they turn the children in?
You were calling
Inquiring
Domino's?
minds want to
Hold on.
know.
And I was on
That's
the phone?
all right. That's okay.
Okay, what kind of pizza do you want? I'll make sure I get it right out to you.
Okay.
I
Glad to do that.
don't know why I'd be on your phone line. That's kind of strange.
I don't either.
Okay.
I've had you pulled up on my phone, but I mean, I watch you all day.
Maybe that's what it is.
But, well, could be.
Is there something you want to say about
Um,
these missing kids that we're talking about?
Yeah. I had kind of heard that there was some gambling and some debts that were owed, and that Daniel had given the kids away for the money he owed.
People take kids for money? I would want my money. I'd be like, I don't want to babysit your damn kid. I want my money.
I know. I've got 3 grown boys. I know. But I had just heard that
Dolly,
because
Domino's,
I
what the
heard
difference,
on
Lamau?
a phone
Choo-choo.
call Daniel talking to a friend of his, saying, well, you know, I've got to do something. They know too much.
Now, where are you hearing these rumors?
I'm in Mississippi. And I heard them online.
Okay.
But it's from that it's a new thing, crime something.
Okay.
Where they'll say something, but it's not true. But I never heard them contradict that. So I don't know. I just thought I would share.
I mean, I try to listen to the truth. You know what I'm saying? If
I
people
know.
say things that ain't
I
true,
know.
that kind of hurts the case, I think.
It does. And I just wanted, you know, to touch all bases and see. I hope those kids are with somebody in the family or something.
I pray to God that is the case, and we can.
But I do too, Dolly. I really do.
Okay.
But,
well, look, it was good talking to you.
That's what I need. You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. So she said she picked up the phone. She was getting ready to call Domino's, and I was on it. Okay. So let's get through people. Hold on, callers. Dolly. Mab.
Domino's.
Okay. What can I get you? A large pepperoni?
Yeah, large pepperoni, double on the pepperoni.
Okay, let's make it quick. I want to get to this interview.
All right, bro.
35.45 times temp
I think I might be right on this whole damn case, man.
You might be. I mean, they're saying similar things to what you were saying.
Yeah.
So
all the way from the beginning, I called this out.
That's, you know,
Anyway.
the kids may be on a reservation. All right, Mab, you might be psychic. You might be like Donna Rever Serafina, however the hell you say her name.
Dolly Serafina.
Dolly Serafina. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Peace. Okay, let's get into this interview, callers. Don't give us a minute before you start calling in, unless you from Nova Scotia and you're Derwood or you're. Oh my God, here we go. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Carrie calling from Missouri.
Hey, Carrie.
Hey, so this whole thing is crazy. In my opinion, this is kind of looking more like a Summer Wells situation.
Thank you, Dolly.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate you and keep drama down.
I don't know. It's just seeming.
Well, Summer Wells, I don't think they hid Summer Wells.
Yeah.
I think Summer Wells is with baby Jesus.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't know. I mean, did they hide them? Are they really still with us?
I hope so. I mean, it sounds. If these people are telling the truth, if Daniel's telling the truth and Derwood is telling the truth, then there's that possibility that these kids are safe somewhere, and that would
Dolly
be.
got the hookup. Thank you for all the scoop.
That would be the best.
Absolutely. But what are the kids going through in all this? You know.
Well, if they were a family friend or family, they maybe be being taken care of. And if Daniel's telling the truth and she wanted the birth certificates, that kind of seems like these kids might be alive. And she wanted their toys, like 2 of their stuffed animals. So why would you want the stuffed animals? And then you heard the mom was fighting with her because when she came outside, Malaya was on her phone, and when she said something to her, she looked scared, like she got caught doing something. So. And then you hear Daniel say that she laid back down in the bed and he woke up and the kids were gone.
Right.
So,
man, I don't know. I'm so confused. This whole thing is just so confusing. Like,
all right. Well, look, you be good. I will talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Peace. All right, callers. Give it a minute. We're going to take plenty of calls tonight. I promise you. Let's get through what we need to hear. Right? Just in case, we want to make sure we got all the information, right? All the information. That's the most important thing. We don't want to miss anything. So let's get through this now. I'll take 100 calls.
All right. Thanks, Derwood. Now you can probably hear me right now. 1 second. Okay, so 44020. Right, you guys make sure in chat that you can tell me if you can hear all right, like yesterday, okay?
Thank you, Mimi.
Speaker. Let's make sure everything's up. Volume up.
Hello.
Hi, Derwood. How are you?
Holy Jesus, I'm okay. How are you?
All right, I'm good. I heard. I took a nap, and I'm so sorry because I know you. When you answered me, and then everyone was telling me you were on Justin's Clutch Them Pearls, but
oh my God. Me and Deer, we're going to have a talk, right? If he's on that channel, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to try to be nice. I'm going to be nice, but that is the fakest making up shit channel ever.
You know what? Where as long as you're spreading information, that's all that matters to me personally.
Well, no, you guys weren't going or anything.
Yeah.
And that there was some people on there saying some stuff about me. And
that's who I call Monkey Boy. Oh my God. Look, no credibility whatsoever in the true crime world. Fake as shit. The dude shows up to crime scenes to take photo ops. What a joke. Okay. And I said it. Yeah, I said it.
And I just wanted, and even that Justin fella, he was really saying a lot of stuff that wasn't right. And I just,
of course he was saying a lot of shit that wasn't right, Derwood. He's a fucking idiot that makes up stuff, photoshops fucking images into blobs of light and tries to. He's the only person I ever seen on YouTube and true crime that made Nancy Grace take her show down. Okay, he lied so bad. He lied about his identity. He lied about how he acquired the picture. That dude, he's the same dude that showed. He went frame by frame to show Kylie Rodney's dead body. He's the same dude that was worried about Sebastian Rogers playing with his man parts, and he looks like a fucking corpse. Okay, he looks like his makeup. He looks like a fucking corpse with hair plugs. Okay, if a dead person had makeup on with some hair plugs, that's what that dude looks like. Okay, I said it. Sue me.
Wanted to correct him on a few things.
Yeah.
But anyway, the phone connection was very bad, and I lost him anyway. And I really don't want to talk to him again anyway because I didn't like. He was more or less arguing with me about what I know. And,
I'm sorry.
And
you should have never called that dude. It's the fakest YouTube channel up here. Okay, fake as shit. Listen, guys, if you're watching my channel, trust me, I don't want to. Y'all don't waste y'all's time on that bullshit. Okay, this is a dude that has plenty of money. He's married to a Pakistani slumlord, and he's only into true crime to make money. I've been on cases searching for missing kids while he stands around and takes pictures. Facts. Can't make it up. He'll show up, do a photo op, and leave in his little Tesla and shit. Nah. We ain't got room for that shit in true crime. We ain't. There's nah. I can't let it go.
I mean, if you know something and it's true and you're there and somebody's, so I don't want to argue with anybody, but
I was gonna say, I just want to say this from everybody that's watching right now too, and for all the Canadians out there, absolutely appreciate this. I heard you didn't get such a warm welcome over there. You know, Dolly Vision and myself appreciate definitely. I can't speak.
That is right. You know why? Because we're decent people. Okay, that's why. That is why we are decent human beings, right? When you dealing with people that ain't decent human beings, it's. Listen, I'll get in trouble. My producer don't like me to talk bad about anybody. Okay, I'm probably gonna get in trouble about this tomorrow. But yeah, I said it. Okay, you heard it from Dolly. You can choose to believe me or not believe me, but I'm telling you, don't support that shit. You know, and people, there's people on YouTube that done things and gotten canceled for doing it. Okay, this dude can do these things.
Tell us how you really feel
and get
Love
away
you.
with it
Heart
because
suit emoji,
every
hugging
time
face emoji, smiley face emoji.
every time somebody calls him on his bullshit, okay, let me say this. I got to get it out. I can't even hold it in. Every time somebody calls him on his bullshit, he cries like a little bitch, okay? He's picking on me. Shut up, okay? Nobody cares, right? And he'll make like $1,000 in super chat. People be like, fuck Dolly, right? And I'm just thinking then he'll cut his camera off so he can fake cry. The dude, his hair's fake, his identity's fake, his true crime channel's fake, him caring is fake. It's just Dolly Vision be okay. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up right there. Okay. I got family members telling me to be quiet. I will shut up. All right. He has nice makeup. All right. He has nice makeup. Make me throw up in my mouth.
For Justin, but thank you.
There was some, now I got some, this one, what the hell was her name?
Whose name?
And she had
Be nice, Dolly.
The Dolly Vision's, my conversation with Dolly Vision on there, and holy Jesus, at the end of it, she said she was sure that I was involved.
Oh.
She said I was the driver that picked the kids up.
I know. I'm gonna know.
That's the only way I know about it. And then she was calling the cops. She was calling the Mounties to report me.
Whatever. Anyway,
here's the thing. Long as nobody mentions the guy, I don't say nothing. Okay. But as soon as somebody mentions him, I get this nauseousness inside my body and I just can't hold it in. Okay. It just has to come out. It has to flow. Like I tell you guys, I'm a real dude. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it. I can't fight the demons. I try. I'm like, I shouldn't say nothing. PJ's gonna be mad I'm saying something. Oh my God. And then I just gotta say it anyway. I'm like, oh no, I just can't let this shit go.
So go on. I'm just gonna let you speak, please. I would love to hear because I didn't
let him know that I'm here.
Oh, Kent's with me on the live as well, and you said that you knew him because you're obviously from the area. But go ahead and you just say whatever you want to say because I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Well, wait, are we online now?
We are. So just
Are you on YouTube or Facebook?
We're on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, no, I can see you.
Yeah.
Why can't I see you move or anything?
Oh, are you lagging?
Oh, I know, because I had the stop button clicked on. See, I told you I'm a technology dinosaur, and I just proved it again.
It's all good.
I really am.
Yeah. So what was going on today? Go on. Let her rip.
let me see, where do I start with this?
The beginning.
Okay, well, the beginning of the little bit of shit I caused when Malaya took off, where she grabbed the baby and took off from Cindy's place where she was under.
Thank you, Robin.
Supposed to be under 24-hour supervision by CPS, but not really by CPS. It was their rules. But Cindy was watching her for 12 hours a day, and Cindy's husband Wade was watching her because he works the night shift, and Cindy works the day shift.
He's your
But
trigger,
sometime
Dolly.
through the day, yesterday.
Just don't bring them up. We'll be good. Okay. I won't be hateful if nobody don't say nothing about it. I don't think about the person until somebody says something. And then I just can't believe that people take this dude seriously. Right. I just don't get it. Like, and they let him get away with the craziest shit. And there's no, if I did some of the things that he does, man, I catch hell. Okay, I catch hell. My people wouldn't let me do that shit. My viewers would call me quick as hell. And then when he does something crazy and foul, they just cuddle his ass like a little baby. It makes me sick.
Yeah, I was over talking to some of my people, and I think I might have triggered something by dropping a name that maybe got some people upset. And I think Malaya got a quick call saying that I think some people were pretty surprised that I dropped this name, and it's somebody I sort of suspect of being directly involved. And when I dropped the name, it wasn't 20 minutes later that Malaya grabbed the baby and took off out of Cindy's place and went to the, I'm not going to say ran, she never ran, she drove. She drove to the, everybody's saying she ran, but she got in the car with the baby and took off and went to the reserve in Shubenacadie, and she's there with her family now. But when she left, she broke the CPS contract of 24-hour supervision, and CPS has taken Meadow now.
Okay.
Okay, CPS is taking Meadow. Wow. I may have to hit up Daniel and see if just to verify everything, but Daniel said that Derwood was legit, that he knows him and everything he said to me was the truth. So if he's saying they took took Meadow, he's probably right.
I know somebody's asking in chat what was the name, Joseph Morris, which is a YouTube creator here in Canada as well. I'm just going to ask, did you want to put out a name or not put out a name? It's
my name?
Pardon? No, I think when you were talking about you dropped a name, but I'm sure that you probably don't want to mention that. I'm sure.
Okay, I've had a
shit. No, Sonny, let him talk. Let him tell it, right? Because as soon as he drops that name, and if anybody knows the name he dropped, y'all DM that to me because I'm going to dig into their ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to find out everything there is to know about them. So, yeah. Anybody know what name he dropped today?
Real bad day with this.
Yeah.
I've been sick to my stomach for the last few hours over it, and I'll tell you why. I was coming very close. What I needed was proof, concrete proof of who was driving the vehicle that I believe picked the kids up beside the road. In other words,
he didn't, Dolly. Okay.
Handed the kids over to beside the road.
Yeah.
Okay. I believed I know it, and one of them, that's the name I dropped.
Oh, you
and
did?
That's what got right. That's what got everything cooking, right?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to do now, Malaya has shut down. Malaya shut down right from her first interview. I mean, Malaya has talked to no one.
Right.
No one. Through her brother, I gained his trust, and this is true. There's a switch going on here that not only do I want to help Daniel, and Daniel's doing well. Daniel's doing a lot better, and he's really coming through better now. And he's getting his ideas across. And I think Daniel's making mistakes with small facts because he's got so goddamn much in his head. And he knows so much that it's ridiculous. But Daniel's pretty well clean now. I'm 100% sure. I mean, him and Malaya were having social problems as a couple has, but he has nothing to do with the abduction. Nothing.
Right.
So, and as far as the relationship between him and Malaya, I do not step in between another man and a woman. If anything was going on in amongst the family that was, as long as the kids weren't getting hurt, I have nothing to say about it, because it was Malaya's choice to stay there and it was Daniel's choice to stay there. And as far as I'm concerned, they had a good relationship for quite a while. But anyway,
yeah. So
we're.
Yeah, so yeah, well, you were talking about basically you dropped a name and all this commotion started. Malaya took off in a car, and you.
No, I can't prove that the name I dropped. I
Right.
can't prove that, but
Right.
I don't see any other reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Is
by
this
the way,
a relative? Go ahead.
Yes, Hayden, the half brother,
Hayden.
And he's a nice little fella. He's not a bad little fella at all. He's pretty mixed up. Like, he's got a lot of feelings about the whole situation, and I might as well not get into that.
Yeah.
But he helped me. I gained his trust.
Yeah.
And I convinced him that I want to help Malaya. And I got to remind myself, there's something I want to say about Malaya here too.
Sure.
So he helped me get in contact with Malaya. I gained his trust, and he convinced Malaya to talk to me. We were going to meet later on. I was notified this afternoon that Malaya agreed to meet with me and talk to me, and Malaya trusts me too. And so at that meeting, what I wanted to impress on Malaya, I wanted to have a good conversation with her, because Malaya is the only one that was there, other than maybe the drivers, who can verify to me if my name is right, that I think, or she could tell me who was there. And see, once I found out where I was aiming, once I found out who picked the kids up, well, then the trail's pretty short to wherever they are.
Mm.
But what happened was, Malaya agreed to talk to me, and I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I thought, we're gonna get this straightened out. We're gonna get this finished shortly. But Malaya apparently was, from what I understand, she was starting to get ready. She told her family on the reservation are the Brookses. That's where her Brooks name comes in.
Yeah.
And they're a good bunch of people. They're natives, and they're a good bunch of people. I believe they're Micmac, and they love Malaya, and they want to watch out for Malaya, and she's in a good, safe spot with them. That's for sure. But they advised her. They were worried about her talking to me, so they strongly advised her. They convinced her to change her mind and not talk to me. So see, that lost my connection to try to find whoever was in the pickup vehicle. So I'm sort of at a loss right now as what to try next. And I think I'm almost going to have to just give up and listen for a while. This is getting hard on my family a little bit. There's a lot of people jerking around down here.
Yeah.
But I'm not scared of them if I was getting somewhere. But I think it's at a dead end right now, that all I can do is maybe, like I say, if you want to learn something, the best way to learn is not be talking. The best way to learn is sometimes shut your mouth and listen.
And listen.
Amen. Amen to that. That is so true. That is so true. Sometimes the best thing to do is shut up and then let people talk around you and just pay attention to everything that goes down. You know, like me, I try to get information from everywhere, any source that puts out decent information, right? And then I take all that stuff and I pile it together and I come to my own conclusions on what I think. I believe he's doing his best to try to find answers. Somebody in the family is trying to mediate between all of them, because we're dealing with a broken family. We're not dealing with a family that's working together. Right. So you look at Derwood, or however you say his name, O'Grady, and he's kind of the mediator between Daniel and Malaya. So he's kind of caught in between it, and that's a hard spot to be in, is caught in between a family that's fighting and pointing the fingers at each other, you know, because they're saying he did it, but are they actually getting away with hiding these kids, or it's just all to take some of the steam off of Daniel, because Daniel's been really getting it hard on the internet. I mean, everybody's been going at him, and it's just a strategy to go, okay, let's point the fingers more at them, and this will take some of the heat off of me, type thing. But Derwood is allegedly not kin to Daniel; he's kin to Malaya. So why would he be helping Daniel unless he believes Daniel's really telling the truth and he knows his family's fucked up? You know? Sorry about the F-bomb, but that was the only word that fit right there. You know, I could have said effed up, but yeah, you get it.
So I think I'm going to go into a phase for a little while here where I just shut up and listen.
Yeah. Well, that's very disappointing because, I mean, it seems like she's easily swayed by others. You know.
Yep.
So.
You're hitting the nail on the head, and you're reminding me what the most important thing I want to say, and that I want people to hear. Please listen to this clearly, because I talked to that Justin guy, and I wasn't getting my points across properly at all. And I talked to this. Well, I couldn't talk to this other person because she.
Well, you know, when you were talking to that person, he don't understand but corpse paint and hair plugs. Okay, if you were speaking monkey, he would have got what you were saying. All right, but you wasn't speaking chimpanzee, so he just don't get it. If it ain't what makeup line to use, if you try to talk anything serious, that's not the dude to talk to.
He's just straight out the motive. What was it? Motive means and something.
I had to, chat.
She's totally whacked then. That one. That's the one that's going to report me to the Mounties and all that shit.
Okay.
I don't really care. But anyway, where I want to go with this, I want everybody to think about Malaya for a few minutes here. Now, people, I want you to picture this. Malaya's relationship with her previous man that she had Jack and Lily too,
Cody,
was very abusive. Okay, and Malaya, to start off with, is a very mild person. Like before she ever even went out with anybody, she was a very mild, peaceful, passive girl. Okay, and when she got into that, I don't know if she had another boyfriend before Sullivan or not, but I have information that he gave her a really hard time. Now, I have reports from some people of her being pretty violent too, but in my mind, the difference between that is okay. It's the difference and like you, I think you already got the idea. I'm kind of an old school idiot. If a man's built at all, if he's got a little solidness to him at all, a woman can punch him in the face a few times, and it really doesn't. It doesn't do that much damage, or hit your, slap you, or something like that. I don't see that big deal in that. But yet, if you turn it around, a solid man with some strength can really wreck a woman. So that way there, I believe the violent thing has to be between couples, has to be cut out altogether. One rule: nobody touches anybody. That's what I believe.
Somebody says better than them drama channels, but what you don't know is the person's full of drama and it's all behind the scenes, like a snake. You know what I'm saying? He hides his fucked upness, right? It makes it worse. I'd rather know who I'm dealing with in this world of YouTube and be like, oh, we don't do drama, and then behind the scenes he's doing drama.
Now, in Malaya's relationship with Sullivan, I believe Malaya might have, tried to slap him a few times, but I don't think Sullivan had much compassion as far as retaliating goes. And by the way, this woman that on this Motives Means site,
yeah,
she showed Belinda Gray's interview. And she had Belinda Gray down as being involved with the killing and abduction.
She's just obviously a whack job. So those Fruit Loops,
she's a complete knob job, man. That thing is whack.
Lots of them. There's lots of them. Don't worry about that part.
I know I do, damn. I try. So far, but I'm going to be nice.
My vast experience, you and Dolly are the most sensible to talk to in That's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm not going to bother you.
Thank you, Derwood. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I said, some people are here really to find answers. And whatever it takes to get that. Like some of us just want the kids home. Right. And then there's some people out here that want to buy another monkey. Okay. That's the difference. That is the difference. Okay. It's just like, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up. Right. It's not nice. Nothing nice is going to come out of what I'm going to say.
Trying to talk to Justin again because I find him very argumentative, and I can't. I'm not going to argue.
He's a bitch. Okay, I said it. He's a fake bitch. All right, that's what he is. All right, with hair plugs. Okay, you get a fake bitch with hair plugs. You trying to talk to a dude that. Let me shut up. I'm gonna get in so much trouble tomorrow.
With somebody to prove my points or prove what I know. If they believe me, they believe me. And if they don't, well, they're great. I see a lot of stuff online that I don't believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I want to say about Malaya.
Yeah.
And I really want to make this Daniel's fighting for himself now.
You know, in that community that he's a part of, because I don't want to get bashed. Dolly's this, Dolly's that. But you know what that pearl necklace stands for, right? Do you guys know? Anybody know what that is in that community? It's when a bunch of people stand around you and do something on your face. Okay. It is purity fucking disgusting. Okay. just throw that out there. I just, you know, just, I think I kept it pretty PG, right? I think I just, oh God. This is fucking dude, you don't belong in true. You don't belong in true crime. Oh God. Oh.
Well, he's got pretty well cleared. He's out in the
You didn't know that? Oh God. Oh Lord, it's terrible. Oh God, it's terrible. Like oh Lord. Ask some people in that community what that is. And you'll be like, oh God. Oh, it's nasty. It's nasty. Oh.
He's got a lot of information out there going, and people don't like some of the mistakes he's making. Well, that's too bad. Now, Daniel's a young man; he can handle himself. Now, I tried to give him a hand for a while, and I believe I did help him clarify his position, and I investigated the shit out of him.
No, it's not that, Kelly.
As far as he's not a perfect husband, but as far as the abduction thing, which is the only thing I'm concerned about, he's got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
That's P. Diddy. Yeah, P. Diddy.
Like I said, this thing is so
P. Diddy will tell you what it is. I'm sure he knows.
Overblown. I want you to picture this. When anytime Daniel, if they get in an argument, and I do it myself, I raise my voice. And it bothers my woman if I raise my voice.
Right.
So I try not to do it. But Daniel's the same. When he gets excited, he raises his voice. Now, you can classify that as abuse if you want. But Malaya being so mild-mannered to start with, and then going through a pretty bad abusive relationship with Mr. Sullivan, and I don't want to blame Mr. Sullivan because, like I said, you don't step in between a man and a woman. Maybe he had plenty of cause to be violent. I don't know. No, I wouldn't put up with a man being violent to a woman in front of me.
I've been in an abusive relationship for a long time. Yeah. I'm in a good relationship now, but trust me, so I do understand what you're saying. But go on, please, Darren.
Okay, now as far as I'm concerned, Malaya being so mild mannered and going through what she went through when she got in with Daniel, and Daniel's a good fella. But I believe she already had some mental issues over the way she was treated. I believe she almost had like a PTSD, and that she was so so mild mannered. If Daniel raised his voice, she went right into panic mode. Okay, so but Daniel never raised his voice very much, as far as I'm concerned. But this is what happened on the side of the goddamn road, and this is why Malaya looked so bad in her interview. She was scared to death. Now she wanted out of there.
Jack got me crying.
And she made a plan to get out of there, but there was other people sort of told it. Like I said, she bitched to the family. And told them that she wanted out of there, and she was, they the last little while they were having a hard time, and I found this out that Malaya's income was frozen for quite a while and seized somehow, and I don't know the particulars of that, but Malaya I don't think had any money coming in for quite a little while, so they were living on Daniel's unemployment, and they were fine. So when the financial hardship started adding to her postpartum depression with the baby, and then adding to her mild nature, and then adding to maybe some PTSD from the things just got too much between them. So she made up her mind to leave, but she was scared. The reason she tried, what happened here, she tried to sneak out of there because she didn't want Daniel to get upset. She was scared to death of him getting upset. And that's why she did it early in the morning. That's why she snuck the two kids out.
All right. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey, Rose.
Hey, Rose. Dolly, man, I'm watching you.
Uh-huh.
I've been kind of in and out of your program.
Uh-huh.
I watched you early this morning, though.
Uh-huh.
Too, both your little things.
Uh-huh.
But after that, I saw a brand new CBC News interview thing. Is that what you're all talking about? I'm coming in a little late.
No, we're not. We're listening to Derwood O'Grady talk about Daniel and Malaya.
Okay. I saw some new shit today, though.
Okay. Well, send it over to me. Send it over to me. If you've seen a new interview today, send it over to me.
Well, there were some clickbaits that had him up in like a jumpsuit already and stuff.
Yeah,
like he's lying.
We're not looking for clickbait. We're just looking for any new interviews. If you can.
Well, that's what I say. We're not looking for clickbaits, but they're all over the place, Well,
it's YouTube. That's what the internet is, clickbait.
Well, so that's why I try to tune into you.
To
get a little bit of truth. And last night I watched, and I didn't call in or anything because
on
I was trying to have respect because you wanted to keep the line and chat open for Daniel.
On. Let me ask Connie this. Connie, we hit 69,000? Oh, yeah, we had, Daniel was in the chat, so yeah, I wanted to keep it open for Daniel.
It was interesting. So you noticed I didn't call in and bugaboo. I know how to have respect.
Okay, that's good, Rose.
But I still feel suspicious.
There's
still something. There's just too many holes in this story, Jimmy.
I agree that there's a lot of inconsistencies and things are changing up.
Even on Daniel's side, it's like he talked about the two sweaters that were missing. My brain right away thought, well, that's, I'll put that up front, I mean, we've watched so many criminal cases and horrible things. Is it impossible to think that Daniel had something to do with it? Is it impossible to think Malaya had something to do with it?
No.
Why all the secrecy? If you know something, say something.
I agree. I agree. I think Daniel's covering for Malaya. He knows, but he's battling himself to say it because that's his baby's mama. Would you want to put your baby daddy in prison? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those hard things. He's in a lose-lose situation any way you look at it.
If my son's father, which my son is here, we actually had a death in the family, and so my son's been spending more time with me, but we're doing okay, you know.
Awesome.
It's just that we're watching this too, and I'm like, you know, they act like the people that have been calling in, and I'm grateful for that. It's just they skirt around like, I know this and I know that, but they won't say what. And my question is, well, have you shared this with the police? You know, I mean, it's like, I don't know, Jimmy. This
maybe. Yeah, I agree. But Rose, I want to get back to this interview real fast so we can wrap this up.
Okay.
So I appreciate you calling in.
I agreed with you last night when you said, well, let's blow this up to Nancy Grace.
Yeah.
Let's see what her eyebrows can do about this.
That's what I say.
Yep.
All right. You be good, Rose.
Later, Hosen.
All right. Peace. And I didn't get a chance to do that today, but I do have the producer of Nancy Grace info, and I will shoot her this story because Nancy's been hooked on P. Diddy. Like, for the last month, she's been on the P. Diddy train like a champ, right? And nobody gives a shit about P. Diddy. I hate to say it. Nobody cares about P. Diddy. Not in true crime. Maybe in the entertainment world, people care about P. Diddy. But us true crimers, we don't give a shit about P. Diddy. And, you know, we look at Nancy Grace like true crime. Woman, you should be talking about true crime, not pearl necklaces that P. Diddy's handing out at his parties, okay? Apparently he must be giving out corpse makeup too. I don't know. I've never been to one, okay? But nobody cares. So, and Nancy's an OG, and so many people watch her. And you get something on Nancy, man, everybody in the country is going to know about it. Everybody. There's so many people watch Nancy. And Nancy is awesome. Okay. She is the chillest, coolest person in person. Like, you know, you see Nancy and she's so intimidating and so passionate about true crime. And I just feel like right now she's wasting her time talking about P. Diddy when there's so many families out there that need Nancy. Okay. They need you, Nancy. They need you. We need you back in true crime. F. P. Diddy, his baby oil, and his pearl necklaces. Okay, we need you talking about these kids. The most important thing. What top mom, right? Top mom. There's another top mom. Her name is Malaya. Okay.
Mortuary makeup. Just saying.
Mortuary makeup. What line of makeup you wear? Mortuary. What type of hair plugs you got? Tumbleweed. Okay. When I see his hair plugs, I hear that fucking music from the West. Woo! You know what I'm saying? I think a gunslinger's gonna walk out on top of that big ass fucking forehead he got, and they're gonna be like, at high noon, son. Right? His tumbleweed's gonna be blowing around on this shit, and the monkey's snatching it out as he's talking, smacking him in the face. Oh, see, y'all got me going. Stop. You're gonna get me in trouble. Okay, you're gonna get me in trouble. Hope Pool, thank you. Don't do it.
What she planned to do was sneak the two kids out to the side of the road, get them in the vehicle, and then take off down the road. And then she planned, because Daniel was still sleeping.
These plugs ain't big enough for the both of us.
But I can't 100% verify, and this is some of the stuff that I was going to verify with my meeting with Malaya if it just would have kept going. I'm sure she was going to go back into the place, pick up the baby, come out, and then her and the baby would be gone while Daniel was sleeping. So she'd avoid Daniel raising his voice.
Dolly's gonna be sleeping next to the pool in the tiki bar. Okay. Right now I gotta get some stuff on mosquitoes. My mosquitoes have been bad in my backyard. Okay. So I damn sure don't want to be sleeping by the pool and the tiki bar at night because them mosquitoes suck you dry out there. So I got to get some more tiki torches, with the citronella. Yeah, because they're bad right now. I don't know what's going on because the weather's been rainy for the last few days, off and on. So the mosquitoes have grew like dinosaurs, and they will suck the blood right out your body. So I ain't trying to be outside.
And certainly would not want them to go. And what happened was the ones that the ones that Malaya was involved with, they're actually not. They're parts. A couple of them are part of her family members. Don't forget, she has another aspect to her partial family members, like half brothers and half sisters, and I believe Malaya was complaining to them a little bit, and I believe they were taking it more seriously. Do you know how? Okay, you get in a little group and somebody tells a story.
Yeah.
Well, next thing you know, it's repeated, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes around the circle. Well, I believe that's what happened. I believe her and a couple of her relatives and a couple other of her close friends talked this all over, and they got so excited that they made up their mind they were going to help Malaya get the hell out of there. And then the sort of the plan was triggered, and Malaya, being so mild mannered that she was scared to death to do it, but she gathered up the courage to bail. And where it failed, and people say, why didn't Malaya just leave? Well,
okay, guys, if you're tuning in, I want to share what Sage just said. We are watching it's a crime and shame. I got it right that time. Okay. Just because their name was on the screen. I murdered channel's names. And if I ever murder your channel's name, I'll apologize in advance. Okay. And they are talking to Derwood. What's his name?
Plant spearmint, lavender, rosemary around pool area. It works.
Okay.
Keeps pests away and smells great.
Okay. Thank you there, Army Mom. O'Grady. Okay. It's Derwood O'Grady. And he is like a second cousin to Malaya. Dolly, you're already in the dog box. Save your eyebrows, and she will be speechless and not know what to do with you. I'm definitely not shaving my eyebrows. Okay, that ain't happening. That's definitely not happening.
Well, she was trying to leave, and what happened was,
let me go grab a drink, guys. I'll be right back.
In the morning, she shuffled the kids off. And Janie, she didn't know Janie was home at the time. And Janie was sleeping in the trailer, and Janie heard whatever she heard. I think the dog barked a couple times, and I think she heard a car, and I think she heard somebody talk. And see, Malaya she wasn't supposed to be home right then. She was supposed to be somewhere else. So Janie, Daniel's mother, heard this and came out. And here's Malaya standing on the side of the road with her phone going. And it startled the shit out of Malaya because Janie walked right up behind her and said, Malaya, what are you doing? I think Janie missed that car by about 30 seconds.
Right. That's yeah.
So that's where the plan fell apart. That's where the plan of her just bailing. She tried to bail, and she was so scared. The exact words I understand were said from a couple was Janie said to Malaya, if I'm wrong, I'm damned. But and by the way, Janie, if Janie wants to contact me and tell me that I'm wrong or give me shit, I certainly will take it. I'll take the abuse, no problem at all. Mm. But I've got this from a couple of people. Well, I'll tell you who I got this from. I got it from Daniel and I got it from Logan, and those are the only other two that I could cross-check this with.
Right.
And so she looked at Malaya, and Malaya looked right guilty because it kind of startled her because Janie wasn't supposed to be there. And Janie said to Malaya, "What did you do?" Now, I think Janie knew that the kids sent out on a drive, but I don't think she knew what else to say or what else to do. And then, that's when Daniel came out. So that's why Daniel doesn't know just exactly what happened. Because first, Malaya started, she panicked, and this is all it was. She panicked, and she said abduction. I think somebody took the kids. Daniel went right out of his goddamn mind. And then Malaya started to try to say, well, maybe they weren't abducted. And then...
Now, Derwood, O'Grady, we got to get him to calm down on that GD word a little bit. Okay. I'd rather him drop an F bomb than the GD like he does. You know, just me personally. He says it a lot. And I didn't want to, interrupt him and be like, hey, man, could you not, use the GD word so much? But he uses it a lot. Like it's, let's bring that back a notch. I'd rather you say a different cuss word than say that one, because technically that's really the only curse word. The rest of them are just actually words. But we gotta leave God alone. God is good. God kept me alive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to butter up to him so I can get into heaven one day. So
that's where it come from. I think they went out the back door. I think they're in the woods. Now you see, she changed her story twice right there right off the start. So that's why Daniel headed for the woods, because the abduction theory, he didn't know which way anybody went or never went. And in his mind, and I don't, maybe she said about the woods, backdoor woods first. I'm not sure about that. And that's why Daniel headed for the woods right quick. He ran up by they had a little cabin next door that the kids played in that Daniel made for them. So Daniel went running through the cabin and stuff like that. He thought the kids would be in their little cabin where they play, right? And that's why he said, like, there's people saying, oh, where did he go in 30 seconds? He said he was out running through lakes. Well, no, the 30 seconds was the first shot where he just ran up by the little cabin, and they got a little path there beside the place where the kids, it's a nice little spot for kids to play. And Daniel checked that first, and then he came running back. And then Malaya was standing there playing with her phone, and from my understanding, Malaya said, well, what do we do? What do we do? And then she said, should I call the cops? And Daniel said, yes, call the fucking cops. And then he jumped in his truck and or his van and went looking for the kids. He checked the yard, and then he went up and down the roads. So, that, and by the time she said abduction, right? And then she called the cops right in front of Daniel, right? And I don't think she was panicking. I really believe she was. And then she told the cops she thought the kids were abducted. Well, of course, the Mounties stormed out there so quick that it was surprisingly quick how quick the Mounties got there, because I think they were already in the area over something else going on, kayaker or something up the road. But anyway, they were there so quick, and then they got abduction in their head, and then they call in the dogs right quick, and then things escalated so fast that Malaya was just standing there pretty near froze in fear and panic, and things escalated so fast that I think by the time Malaya came sort of back to her out of shock, or that the searches were going, it went too fast for her to back out of it.
Right. Yeah. Derwood, can I just ask you one question?
I've been yapping long enough. Sure get a chance to talk.
No. Honestly, I would rather listen, to be honest with you, because people don't want to hear what I have to say. They want to hear what you have to say, because you're part of the family. But do you know how long that Daniel was gone? Because the Brookside is trying to say that he was gone for 3 hours, and that's
no,
right.
No, he wasn't gone. No, he wasn't gone for 3 hours at all. Let me think about that, because I checked that timeline. That's one of the first things I checked.
Okay.
I just think about this for a second.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, obviously that sounds ridiculous that he was gone for 3 hours.
Maximum.
Okay, question from my chat room. Who has been talking? What YouTuber has been talking to the Brookside on the reservation? What YouTuber has been talking to them? All right, because there's so many damn YouTubers out here. I can't keep up with everybody. No, the mosquitoes, they're not bad around my pool during the daytime, right, or in my backyard. But at nighttime, they get bad. Okay. And if I have all the tiki stuff going and the bug lights on, it ain't that bad. Okay. I mean, they're still out there, because I really don't like to wear bug spray, like DEET or any of that stuff. Turtle Gang Dolly Vision 69,000. Thank you guys for everybody that's been subbing up. So you know what that means. We're on that 70,000 train now. 70,000. I am 31,000 subscribers away from that little $5 plaque that YouTube gives you. Okay. And I want it. I want my $5 plaque. I'm going to hang it on my wall. I'm going to be proud. I'm going to walk by it and be like, damn, look at all my hard work. I got a $5 plaque. Okay. So it would be better if they sent me $1 for every subscriber I got. Okay, that would make a big life changing difference, right? Can I get $1 for every subscriber I got? But I'll take the $5 plaque. Okay, I'll be happy. My little play button. That's all I want, right? And you guys can help me get that. And thank you for everybody truly who has subbed up, right? That is awesome because we're on that journey, and I know I'll eventually get it. And I already got the place on my wall for it, right? It's just waiting, and it's looking empty right now. But one day my little play button will be there, and it's thanks to you guys out here watching, subbing up. I hear y'all subbing. Thank you guys. Y'all are absolutely the best. I'm dead serious when I say I can't do it without you. I can't sub my channel 100,000 times. I can't do it, right? One day you'll hit 1 million. I don't know. My goal has always just been to hit 100,000. You know, I kind of keep count right now, and I celebrate every 1,000. I do a post from the time 1,000, 2,000, all the way to 69,000. So I got 69 posts of me celebrating it. And once I hit 1,000, which is 100,000, which is my goal, I'm going to stop counting. You know, subs really, it don't really matter. What matters is people watching the videos and people that support you and keep it going. You know, the numbers are just numbers, but I always told myself, you know, that you ain't a YouTuber till you hit 100,000. Right. So I want to hit that 100,000 so I can look at myself and say, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. You know, if you're under 100,000, I just think you're a person that makes videos. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't true. You can have 15 people and be a YouTuber, right? But it's just one of those things that I tell myself to make me push myself harder to when I don't want to make a video or I don't want to go live. I tell myself, hey, you ain't a YouTuber yet till you hit this 100,000. And it just makes me work harder, and it keeps me motivated to get to where I'm going. Like everything in life, you need a little bit of motivation. You know, it's basically an invisible finish line for me. And once I get through it, of course, I'm going to keep going. But I want to like at least hit that mark. And, you know, it's just like if you went to college for fucking 8 years, they give you a diploma, right? Or degree. It's the same thing when you're on YouTube for 8 years. You know, I'd be a doctor if I would have spent this time going to college that I've spent on YouTube.
Maximum, I think he was gone for between 25 and 40 minutes.
Something like that. Okay. If you ever find out the answer from Daniel, just let us know. And again, you know.
Oh, listen. Daniel wants to open this up.
Good.
Thank you, Samantha.
And he's watching things right now. Like Daniel has verified. He even called. He did quite an interview with Dolly last night, I guess, and I never saw it up until 4 o'clock in the morning or so. and Daniel will talk to you the same as I am right now. If you want me to put him in touch with you, or I'm sure he's probably watching right now.
Well, he talked to the one girl there.
Put it this way: I'm 99% sure Daniel will be in touch, and if he's not, I'll call him and put him in touch with you. And I'm going to tell you. The stuff he'll tell you will blow your mind.
Well, that's just it. So like Charmaine has talked to Daniel through text message. He's personally never answered my messenger ever. And the bottom line is of all this, and you know too, Derwood, that this is about Jack and Lily. And the only way to get answers is honestly just take the lid off the
Thank
shit.
you, Kelly.
Just tell it, say what you can. You know, if you can't say certain things, then don't, that are really, if you feel like they're really important to the investigation. But we all know that the RCMP use that same damn ass sentence all day long. Hold it to the vest. Hold it to the vest. But for Daniel, for Daniel, like, I know I flip-flop like a fish, that me and Charmaine have always wanted to believe in Daniel because he came off as the most truthful versus what's happening. But because of the, you know, obviously when somebody says something different, but anyways, he got upset with us because again, it was about Malaya. And all I ask of Daniel is, Daniel, and if you're listening right now, you know what, the important thing here is Malaya, okay, in life, trust me, young grasshopper, that at the end of the day, this is about Jack and Lily, the kids. So if your fight is for Jack and Lily, right? Malaya, that relationship, that has gone south. That's gone out the window. Trust me. So, you know, put Malaya to the side, because what's important here is Jack and Lily first. And if there's any hope in hell ever with you and Malaya, that will happen. Life is one of those things that we know.
Sonny said the same thing I said. You know, right now he don't need to so much worry about the relationship. He needs to worry about himself and worry about the kids and worry about Meadow. And then when all this stuff works its way out, and the faster all this information comes out, and the faster all these things work themselves out, then he can start working on his relationship with Malaya. If you know, because I'm an honest person. Even I told him, I feel like, hey, you love this girl and you're taking up for her. And at this point, I understand it, but at some point you have to worry about yourself, right? You have to worry about you. She's putting all this on you, and you don't deserve that. Why she treats you like crap, that ain't fair to him, you know? So tell it all. And then at the end, when everything falls and the castle crumbles, that's when you start to pick up the pieces and rebuild. Okay. But as things are crumbling, you don't try to build it while it's collapsing. All right. You wait till it completely collapses, and then you start to rebuild. If you're trying to save a fallen brick, good luck with that. Okay. Let the shit crumble, let it fall, let the pieces fall where they fall, and then build it from there.
Right, Derwood, that if it's meant to be, it will be. Everything happens for their purposes. But
I don't think I'm 99% sure Daniel would probably take Malaya back if things ever got straightened out. But Malaya doesn't want any more. And by the way, Daniel will have to respect that choice. I've made some promises to my family that there'd be no goofing around as far as Malaya being protected and that from Daniel if she's scared of Daniel, which I think she's a little scared of Daniel, but not to the extent. But Malaya's pretty confused. She's very confused.
I think so. I believe so too.
Yeah.
And then,
so like I say, what I want to impress on, and listen.
Go ahead.
If I did get my point across, I really need people to realize Malaya needs some help in this too. And I know it's a son of a bitch, the cost of the search, and that's going to have to be dealt with. But that'll have to be dealt with as far way out of my hands, and that'll have to be dealt with as far as I'm concerned after we get Jack and Lily sitting at the goddamn table eating ice cream.
Absolutely.
And I either want them sitting at the table eating ice cream, or I want a box full of their bones one or the other. And until that happens, then this is not settled. And so as far as I'm just.
That was a wide. He said, I want them sitting at the table eating ice cream, or a box of their damn bones. Can we get something in between that? Can we get a third option? Maybe Derwood. Can we get a third option? Maybe something in the middle, you know, the police have them, they're in protective custody. Dolly.
Hold on. I got to mute you. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Are you there?
I have a quick question.
I got a quick answer.
Okay, because you talked over a critical part of my notes. Can you please tell me where this guy is getting this information from? How did he find out that she went down with the kids in the car and put them in the car? How did he find that out?
Well, he's family with Malaya's family. He's like a second cousin to Malaya.
I get that. But so
and apparently people in the family are talking. Yes.
Okay, so he's getting it from
other family members and people that are acquaintances with his family in Malaya.
Okay, and has that been reported to the RCMP?
I'm not quite sure what he has reported to the RCMP. I know he has talked to the major crime units, but I'm not for sure exactly what he has told them. Only he knows that.
Because on Monkey's interview, when he said that he called the police, he said the police didn't do anything. And that's what I'm very upset about.
They may not be taking him seriously. I mean, They may
Who
think
do-
he's crazy.
who do-
They can think a lot of things. I don't know. Maybe they're looking at different angles and they don't believe that to be true. I don't know. I can't speak for the police, so.
Okay. Who do I call to
Ghostbusters. I ain't scared of no
Yeah.
ghosts. Oh, I don't know. Who do you need to call?
who,
For
who
what
do
now?
I call to find out if what's going on, if they know about this portion of the information, and because I have a very hard time believing that
I
the
wouldn't.
RCMP
Here's
didn't do anything.
here's my thing. Here's what I want to tell you. I would not be wasting the police's time with any rumors that you heard on the internet. If you're going to call the police, call them with factual information that you know for yourself as a fact.
I'm ready to dive in and investigate this. That's what I'm ready to do.
Well, that's great, but you still don't need to be reporting things you heard.
I don't want to report them. I just want to know if, like, by calling them and finding out if.
Well, they're not going to tell you anything. You're not in the family. They don't owe you to tell you anything, even if you called them. You understand what I'm saying? They're not going to give you any information because they don't have any clue to who you are, and you're not in law enforcement, so they have no. They're not going to be like. I mean, you can call and tell them you heard something, but they may not take it seriously. They're probably going to tell you, don't listen to everything you hear on the internet. We got this under control. But I would suggest if you know something to be a fact, then yes, of course, report it to the RCMP.
What's bugging me is why haven't RCMP, if this information was reported, be going to the mother, putting her in the room and saying, hey, listen, we're hearing this now.
We don't know. We don't know because we don't know what's going on because we're not there with them. Maybe they are in communications with the mother and they are asking her things. She could be saying this is all true. She could be saying this is all BS on the internet.
Well, no, because this is supposed to be a family member. So then she would have to say he's lying.
It's still a bunch of hearsay. He didn't see it. He didn't see it himself with his own eyes. So he's speculating just like we are sitting right here on the channel,
Just like when he said, when I mentioned the name, she all of a sudden got really scared and spooked and took off with the baby.
Yeah.
We don't know the name, but this is really getting to me, Dolly. I'm ready to get boots on the ground.
Okay. All
right. So continue on. Don't talk when there's really important stuff about Monkey Boy. Because I'm taking notes.
You're taking notes.
I love you. Bye-bye.
All right. Peace. Now I'm going to talk over every damn thing that has to do with Monkey Boy. Listen, I love you guys. Right? I love you. Y'all are awesome. But don't tell me how to run the show. don't tell me what to do. I'm an outlaw. Okay. I'm a little bit of a rebel. I don't follow orders. I'm not good with directions. You know what I'm saying? I kind of do what the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. It's just who I am. If you ain't noticed yet, right? Write that down. That's going to be like, put that in your notes. All right. Put that in your notes because it's going to be a quiz after this live stream. I want to make sure you got that in your notes. It's like, if you not talk, I'm taking notes. All right. Well, that you can go right to a crime and shame and pull up their video and take notes, right? And you ain't got to hear me talk. Okay. You ain't got to hear me talk. It's easy, right? It's just you click. It's a little click, right? You want me to write that down for you? Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey. Are you calling to tell me to shut up too?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I found your channel about a week ago, and I have literally listened to every live, every video, everything about the Lily and Jack case. I love your coverage. I think you're doing awesome.
Thank you.
And you know what? With everyone's hate, I support you on Carrie Reed too. Just throwing that out there. I'm not going to talk anything more about that.
There you go. There you go. All right.
All right. So I've been pretty invested in this case. So obviously my algorithm has been doing its thing.
Yeah.
And ever since Daniel's last interview, everyone's been making videos updating about how he changed his story.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you haven't commented on that too terribly much.
About him changing the story?
Yeah. Like not like how emphasized, like you haven't emphasized it as much as other channels have. What's your take on that? On his the discrepancy?
The truth never changes. If you're telling the truth, it never changes. When you tell the truth, it's the same story every time. It becomes boring. People like to add to it. Now, listen, some people disagree with that. Some people say, well, oh, I remembered this or I remembered that, you know, and then they add to the story. But when the story, I think it's a little okay to add to the story, but when the story changes, then it's a lie, right? If you didn't tell the truth from the beginning, why did you lie? Because I don't think people just lie for no reason. I think they lie for a reason. Like I ain't never told a lie that I didn't have a reason to tell it, right? So
right.
I just go, well, just let me lie to these people for just fucking shits and giggles. You know, usually people lie to protect themselves, or they don't want to get in trouble, or they don't want somebody mad at them. And sometimes that them are considered little white lies, but a lie is a lie. It don't matter if it's a white lie, black lie, purple lie. You know, a lie is a lie. And when there's missing kids, there shouldn't be any lies. There shouldn't be any inconsistencies. And then when I see those things, it sets off huge red flags to me, you know, and I knew what they were saying in the beginning was a little bit of BS. And now we're learning that it is. Daniel's story is, you know, completely different now than it was. And I think that's because he's protecting Malaya.
You know what? I completely agree with you. A lie is a lie. You know, missing kids, you should never change the story. It should be the most blatant, honest you've ever been in your entire life, through and through.
Yes.
So I got kind of a hot take, though, because I think that two things can be true at once. The change in his story, my theory, which means absolutely nothing, but
just means it's just as much as mine. So, you know, everybody has their opinion. So yours is just as important as mine.
Well, he's saying now that he was like, you know, barely asleep, basically half asleep, half awake, whatever. And that's, you know, part of it that's changed. Well, what if he has changed that and like modified like that part of the story? Because I mean, they have both got so much flack online for how like negligent it is to, you know, be asleep and your kids be up and not be watching them and stuff. I mean, that's been very, very emphasized. What if that's his way of kind of like not seeming as bad, you know, like kind of being like, well, I mean, like we weren't totally not watching them. Like I was half awake. The other half of me was asleep. You know what I mean?
Nobody
minimize.
Nobody can watch their kids 100% of the time because people do gotta sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So, but when you're
at first, it sounded like they were both in like a total slumber, and you know they were, you know, just sleeping in the bed, and they knew the kids were up and didn't care. So, what if he's changing it not out of maliciousness of like wanting to change the story, but to seem less of a bad parent and trying to just throw, you know.
Maybe. I mean, most parents, you know, get up and they'll fix their kids some breakfast or something and lay on the couch and nod off. And kids usually don't run off like that. You got to remember that they had been there for 2 years. They never ran off before. And then they did. And I know some kids do wander, but for both of them to wander and not be found, usually when kids wandered off, they're found within 12 hours.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I completely agree with like everything else, and it's just like that big change that like everybody's kind of freaking out about over the last like 24 hours ish. It just feels to me more like him, like, you know, receiving all the criticism and then taking that and being like, well, okay, like it wasn't as bad as like we originally, like, you know, I was the one that was half awake. You notice that it wasn't her that was half awake and kind of watching the kids kind of not, you know, in and out. It was him. And, you know, he's the one talking, not her. So he's just kind of trying to like relieve from that blame, not just seem like such a bad guy. So rather than changing his story just for, you know, lying's sake, but doing it more of like.
So he don't seem like a neglectful parent.
Right. So like in like another stance, like, you know, if let's say you have a fight with somebody and you go tell your friend about it, and then your friend's like, no, you were the one totally in the wrong. The next person you go tell about it, you slightly change it to where you leave out some things or, you know, whatever else to make you seem a little bit better, to where the next response you get is more positive than the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still lying.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you ask any parent, they're going to tell you, they're going to describe themselves as a better parent than they actually are. Any parent.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to act like I'm the greatest parent on the planet, right? I mean, if you ask me what kind of dad I am, I'm going to be like, I'm the fucking greatest dad ever, you know? But, you know, I think I am, you know what I'm saying? But there's probably somebody better, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's always room for improvement. And I tell people this, like, you have to, when you take care of a kid, you have to get a passing grade every day. You cannot fail that kid once, because if you do, it leads to tragedies. So you have to be a good parent every day. If you're a bad parent one day, then things like this can happen. And I've said it. I said Malaya and Daniel could have been great parents 364 days, but on that 365th day, they wasn't good parents because they wasn't keeping an eye on the kids like the way they should have been. And that's all it
I mean,
takes.
not even that. Well, make sure the doors have child. I mean, my toddler, he's a runner, you know, like I understand the whole kid leashes now. Like I used to kind of judge, but I get it now because we're out in public or even at home. He wants to, you know, run and explore. So I get that. And, you know, on my doorknobs, we have child doorknobs.
Well,
you know,
we live in an age now where technology is so great that you can put an Apple AirTag on their book bag or on their shoe or in their clothes.
Bracelets. You know, for autistic. I mean, that's a big thing with autistic kids. They're making them. They sell them on Etsy. And this is great for your listeners to hear. They sell them on Etsy, and they're little bracelets, and then you can have them like engraved with like their names or whatever else.
I might start selling them here.
They're amazing.
I might start selling them here on my merch store to track your kids. I think that might be a good product to add to our merch store. Is something to track your children with or your grandkids with, and you sew it into their clothes or put it on their clothes. People track. Look, we chip our dogs so our dogs can't get away, but we don't worry about where our kids are at. You know, that don't make any sense. You know, this day and age, you need to know where your loved ones are at because something bad could happen. And I mean, it's a cheap way of knowing. We would know where these kids were if they had a device on them. You know, people put them. You can go buy a car right now, right? And they put tracking devices on that car until it's paid off on the car. So I mean, why not do that on your kids? We won't put a tracking device on your ass until you're 18. You know, or don't even tell the kids.
No, I mean, I completely agree.
These things should be done. And I know people don't want Big Brother spying on you, but listen, it's better to especially young kids, especially if they're special needs kids. And it's alleged that these kids were on the spectrum of being autistic. These people in the elderly, right, that may have dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that, we should be taking care and watching our loved ones and knowing where they're at. And just like you said, child safety locks and things like that. But, you know, the thing about them is, you know, hindsight's 2020 because the kids had never ran before. And if this is a case of the kids have ran, which I don't think it is, then they had no indication that these kids would take off. So
Well, even if your kid hasn't ran, there's not, I mean, at least in my case, there's not a parent that I don't know that you haven't had at least one of those, like, oh shit moments, you know,
Take you off
to
for a
make
kid in a
you be
minute and
like,
freak out.
yeah, because, like, you know, that's why we personally, that's why we got the doorknob things, is because we didn't think that our littlest one could twist the knob yet, and he did.
Yeah.
And next thing we know, I see him running out to the trampoline. Thank God we have a fenced-in yard, but, you know, it was one of those oh shit moments, and then I Amazoned it that night.
Yeah.
You know, and so, like, sometimes when you get to those stages and you still think your baby's a baby, and then he shows you that he's not, you know, it's like, oh, well, then that's when you get him, which obviously you can preemptively get that, and if you think of it or whatever else. But, you know, she has a 6-year-old, there's a 6-year-old, so they've already went through those steps.
Yeah.
They've already, that, them running away, it's not that this is the first time they've ran away. I guarantee it's not the first time that they went outside because you left the door cracked open or whatever else it is. So there was those steps and those moments before then, before they just, you know, hiked to who knows where, supposedly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, hey, I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Have a great night.
All right. Peace. Yeah, like she said, every parent's going to have that oh shit moment. I remember when Tiffany was a baby, my daughter, and I would take her to the bus stop every morning, right? I always stood outside with her because we lived in the hood, you know, so it wasn't no going outside unsupervised. It was like, you outside, we outside with you. You at the bus stop, I'm at the bus stop with you. When the bus gets here, I'm waiting at the bus stop. So I take her, put her on the bus that morning for school, and that afternoon, I'm standing there waiting for her to get dropped off on the bus, and the fucking bus blows past me at like 45 miles an hour, don't stop. Flying through the neighborhood. I'm like, what the hell? And don't drop my kid off. I'm freaking out, right? So I run in the house. I call the school, right? Because I didn't know if Tiffany wasn't on the bus. And I called the school and I'm like, look, my daughter didn't get dropped off. The bus just flew by me at 45 miles an hour. They were like, well, give us a second. We're going to figure out what's going on and we'll call you back. And at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking slam out. And they called me back and they were like, Mr. Williams, we want you to be really calm. And this scared me. They were like, the bus just got in an accident. And the bus blew by me at like 45 miles an hour through in a neighborhood. I mean, this bus was hauling ass. And they were like, once we get another driver out there, we get the kids off the bus, we'll bring your daughter to that. I was like, no, you're not. You're going to tell me where the bus is at. And I'm going to the fucking bus. Right. So I immediately jump in my car. Right. They tell me where the bus is at. I get there. The police are there. And I walk up and I tell the police, I was like, get my daughter off the bus now, you know? And then I cuss out the bus driver right in front of the police. Right. I was like, you didn't see me standing out there. What it was there was a substitute bus driver. And I went off. I was like, get my daughter off the bus. And the cop was like, do you have any proof this is your daughter? And then I was like, man, you don't get my damn daughter off this bus immediately, we're going to have some problems out here. And then, you know, Tiffany's coming off the bus and the cop goes, is this your daddy? And she's like, yeah, it's my daddy. Right. And I mean, the school's lucky I didn't sue him. You know what I'm saying? Because he hit a parked car about 4 blocks away, hit a parked car. What an idiot. What an idiot. And, you know, another oh shit moment as a parent is my daughter works in a mall. Okay. Grown. She calls me while I'm live on a live stream and says, Dad, I'm barricaded in the office. There's an active shooter in the mall. Somebody's shooting up the mall with my daughter in it. Okay. I freaked the hell out. Right. Because listen, you don't stop being a parent when they turn 18. This is my baby girl. Right. And I remember that one, Dolly. Right. She called while we were live. Right. Called the phone like, Dad, I'm in the mall, barricaded in the room with my workers. There's a person shooting up the mall. I flipped out. Right. I didn't know what to do. I'm fucking running around the house. I'm on the phone with 911. And as soon as hit the phone with 911, the lady's like, yes, there's an active shooter at the mall. We have police on location about to breach the mall. So they was outside the mall waiting to go in, right? And she's like, I want you to stay on the line. She's like, can you tell me where your daughter's at in the building? Right. And I told her where she worked, and they were like, she's barricaded in the office. I was like, yeah. They were like, okay, we have police at the back door right now. Tell her to come to the door. So we're on three-way with the police, me, my daughter, the police, and they got to Tiffany, right? And then they told me, they said, we got your daughter out the mall. We're breaching the mall right now. And I was like, thank God. She's like, but your daughter is out. We got her out the back door. She's safe. Her workers are out, right? And I was freaking out, right? I was freaking out. That lady was so calm, and thank God for good 911 dispatch people, right? Because I was ready to jump in a car and run up in the mall. So what do you do in a situation like this, right? So, but everything worked out. The person went to jail, and they fired a few shots off in the mall. And I don't think nobody was hit, but it's still somebody shooting in the mall with my kid in there working, right? And I don't know what it was over, probably some gang violence or something. I don't know, but as a parent, that is one of the scariest phone calls you can get, because with people these days, there's these spree killers and people that just go crazy and start killing random people, right? And we didn't know under what circumstances these shots were fired. But yeah, that was scary. That was scary. And that happened while we was live. She called right into the live number and said, Dad, I'm barricaded in the office. There's an active shooter in the mall. I got all my workers. We got the door barricaded. And I was just like, I just freaked out. Like, I panicked. And just panic set in instantly. So I understand that there's always going to be these situations, even after your kids are grown, that you still freak out like that. Like, it was the same feeling almost when she flew by me as in first grade on the bus, and the bus driver got in an accident. So I just wanted to share that story with you. You remember that day? Yeah, there was a lot of us. There was a lot of people here with us. So I forget what we were streaming about, but the room was packed with people. And I'm just glad everything ended okay, and nobody was hurt. Tiffany may not be a child, but I got her back too. Tiffany is awesome. Yeah, I meant to stop and get her something today. She asked me would I stop and pick her up something, and I totally forgot. But I'll have to go get it tomorrow morning when I get up. But yeah, I'm glad I thought about that. So I remember I had to write it down so I don't forget that I need to pick her up something. She asked me to stop at the store and grab her something, and I still need to do that. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines back open, and I'm going to play this.
Sorry, and if Malaya's watching this, Malaya, you can trust me. All I want to do is help you. All I really want to do is help you. And because I know how you could get to the point of where you were at, and I know, as far as I'm concerned, it was just a little series of bad snap
Dolly.
decisions.
Hello. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly. It's Rita from Dexter.
Hey, Rita.
I've been gone. I've been in the hospital with Summer. She's okay now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard from you in a few.
Yeah, she had a foot overload, and we took her to, she couldn't breathe Sunday, went to the hospital, and they said she had a foot overload.
She had a what overload?
A foot overload in her body. And they needed to do like dialysis times 3. They did 3 days of straight dialysis and got her back to normal.
Okay.
She has a newfound love for salad. And apparently salad is water.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so she had way too much salad over the weekend, and it caused it. She also had respiratory issues, but they fixed that. That was from the flu that she had.
Okay.
But she's okay. Yeah, she's okay now. But
That's
I just got back home, and I have been missing all the lives, and I'm trying to get caught up. but I was watching you tonight, and I wanted to call in about this real quick.
All right.
But my opinion is Daniel and Malaya both know what happened to these kids. That's not gonna change with me, because he has lied they lied. They both lied in the beginning. That fake balling she was doing up there, I just want to hold them and all this and that. I mean, and it was a mess. And then, I mean, and this guy here that's coming out talking on every channel he can talk on. I mean, come on, monkey boy. You lose all credibility with me when you go to that channel. Yeah. Yeah, well, I hope he finds out quick. And yeah, Mab, it's me, transplant. He asked in the chat. No, I'm serious. My opinion is so different. I think they've known from day one. But I also think that he's so busy worried about getting Malaya back. And then now it's turned into a cuddling game. And now it looks like they're all on the YouTube world tour, trying to be like damage control. Something happened to those kids, Dolly. I'm not buying this. If those kids were hid, yeah, you pointed this out to me before. Why hide those kids? They're not Daniel's. She'll leave any time with them. She didn't hide those kids. Those kids ain't on no reservation. They're not with her mom. Her mom has talked to the police. They're not with her mommy. They went in there and they took that baby from her. It's the same thing with Don and Candace. There's missing kids. The parents are obviously suspects, and they took this baby from them. Bottom line, that's what happened. I guarantee you that's what happened here. This dude that's saying he has absolutely no receipt, he's got no evidence. It's a bunch of hearsay. He said, she said, they said this and that. Daniel's story has changed like 5 times. He's not innocent. I was in a chat room with 5,000 people where they had 1,200 stories, and that was rumors on the internet. They shut that down. This is just another rumor. And if that was the case, the mom would have told the RCMP, because she does not like Malaya. It is not a hidden secret that his family does not like Malaya. And they would have told the police, the RCMP, all of them that. I'm not buying this guy's story. I'm not buying any of it. He only knows what Daniel's telling him, and he likes Daniel. But I'm telling you, I'm seeing right through this.
He's related to Malaya, not Daniel. Why would he be taking up for Daniel?
I'm going to tell you now, I got family members that don't like me but love my boyfriend. I mean, come on now. There's so many families out there in the world that are as fake as hell. Think about it. You'll be nice. They'll be nice to their cousin to their face, and then go talk about their cousin behind their back. I know lots of people like this. And I'm not saying I'm with you. I want to see proof. I want to see. But these people, this is like they're just on the world tour of YouTube. They need to be out looking for these kids. And if these kids are alive, like they're claiming and hid, now you know yourself. If your kid was missing and you thought your kid was on a reservation, Dolly, you would go up in that reservation and you'd find your kid, and there wouldn't be nobody stopping you from doing that. Now, I mean, come on.
Yeah, there might be some natives that would stop me from coming up on the reservation because I'm not native. But I don't know.
The Dolly I know would go there anyway. The Dolly I know would go. He wouldn't care.
Oh,
You'd be looking for your daughter.
If I thought my daughter was up in there, I'm getting up in there if I had to sneak up in there.
Yeah. And I mean,
it would be my first trespassing charge.
Yeah, I don't believe these kids are hid. Who was she going to hide them with? The mama didn't wait at the end of the road. That don't make a lick of sense. These people are full of it. And this guy is, I'm sorry, I'm not buying this, Dolly.
Here's my thing, Rita. Why is the mother not crying out for her kid or doing anything to find her kid herself?
I think the mother has been told to keep her mouth shut by the police. Now, that is not just a rumor.
The police said they told her to watch what she says to the media, but they never told her she couldn't talk to the media.
Well, that baby was her world, and they probably told her, we'll take that kid. That's probably what happened. If you get it, because what they're doing is interfering with the police investigation. And if these people say, this guy saying he knows all this stuff, he can tell the RCMP they don't believe him. Then guess what? You go and tell the cops. Isn't there 2 separate law enforcements down there? You go and report it to everybody. If they don't believe them, then the cops are already onto something else, or both those parents are suspects.
Mm-hmm.
That's common sense. They would not have took that baby if she wasn't a suspect. They wouldn't, and if Daniel wasn't a suspect, they would have gave him the baby.
Yeah, but they can't just take the baby for being a suspect. Anybody can be a suspect.
Children are missing. They can. Yes, they can. Kids are missing. There's no excuse. That is neglect. They don't know where their kids are. Neglect. Yes, they can take that baby. That's
my whole thing is, why hasn't any of them been charged with neglect?
They need a body. No body, no evidence.
No, I mean, far as neglect, I mean, for murder, you would need a body. But
neglect is common sense. I mean, they weren't even up watching these kids. Nobody talked about giving them baths, feeding them dinner. Nobody talked about putting them to bed. There's rumors of wild parties. There's rumors of drugs. Come on. These people are not all lying.
Yeah.
I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this YouTube world tour.
You're not buying the world tour. Okay.
That's what I'm. That's what it looks like, Dolly.
So
Come on.
You're not buying the souvenir T-shirt then?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I just want you to. I mean, I want you, because the Dolly I know, because you're the one that said no, Rita. This is what you said to me a couple weeks ago. No, Rita, there's no way they hit those kids, because if you can go back and listen to yourself, you said there's no way they hit those kids, because Rita, why would she have to do that when they're not Danielle's kids?
I agree.
You were right about that.
I mean, I don't know why she would do it. They're saying she did, but I can't think of a logical reason why she would have to do that just to leave Daniel. I hope they hit him. Yeah, it's good. It's always good to hope.
Yeah, I don't believe any of this mess. I don't believe any of it. These people are crazy. These two, something happened with them babies. They hit it really well.
Okay.
And the police weren't searching under that trailer for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't digging up underneath that trailer. They think something went south here too. That's why there's a $150,000 reward. They don't just issue no $150,000 reward if they don't think there was foul play in the missing kids case.
Up to 150,000. That's the magic word.
Yeah.
Up to.
Yeah, up to. It's like the FBI here ain't giving out no rewards like in Sebastian's case if they don't think there was some foul play.
Yeah.
They don't do that for runaways, and they don't do that for accidents. They do that when they really think something happened here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let someone else call in, but that's my opinion. These people are all lying.
All right, Rita, you be good. Peace.
All right, bye.
Hold on, guys. I think I woke my producer up. What's that? Okay. I need to keep it down just a little. Just a little. Y'all can hear me okay, right? I'm a little loud. I'm a little loud. All right. Dolly.
Dolly.
Yes.
Connie from Cincinnati.
Hey, you say Connie?
Yes.
Hey, Connie.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh. By the time I got through to you, I've forgotten what I was going to say. Hang on. Give me a minute.
Okay. All right, you might as well.
I have quite a few to say to you, but I'm at this point. I have a theory.
Okay.
What if you know what? If I recall, at the very beginning of this, Malaya was not staying at Daniel's place. The kids were.
Uh-huh. She's been living there for 2 years.
I know. That's what they keep. I mean, it keeps changing. Originally, I remember something about Malaya was not living there. The children were.
She was definitely living there from my understanding.
Okay. Hang on. Let me think a minute. Okay. What if this is a theory?
Uh-huh.
Allegedly, in my opinion. Okay. He somehow was holding those children.
Okay.
And she was trying to get away and get along with the children.
She was trying to get away, and she was trying to get away with the children. Is that what you said?
Exactly.
Okay.
Without him knowing what was going on.
Uh-huh. So why not, when the police get there, tell them that you're just trying to get away from him and you need a protective order? Why would you hide the kids?
Well, you know what? I don't know. People are crazy. I swear.
That is
I have
true.
never seen so much craziness in my life. But okay, hang on. Let me give that some thought.
Go to bed, PJ. All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in while you think about that.
No. No. Don't you do that to me.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. I'm just concerned. Okay. I mean, it changed. Originally, she said that she got up. She said, "Do you hear the children?"
Uh-huh.
And now he's saying he's saying that he asked, "Did you hear the children?"
Yeah.
Oh my God. Seriously, this is ridiculous.
Okay. It's night time.
No, it's not.
It's close. It's really close. All right. You be good. It's good talking to you.
I love you.
All right. Peace. Okay. Yeah. It was sleepy time was kicking in on her. Okay. Sleepy time was kicking in. And somebody said PJ needs some earplugs. Hey, it's a crying shame. Good to see you. We were just watching you. I need some earplugs. So when I go swimming, I got like swimmer's ear, and I got eardrops in this ear, and I have a really bad earache. So I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, but I got some eardrops in, and I think it's from being in the pool, getting water in my ear. So I need some earplugs. And I was just telling PJ that I need to order some earplugs so when I get in the pool, I'm not getting all that water in my ears because I'm getting really bad swimmer's ear. So anyway, did we finish that interview that Crime and Shame did with Derwood? Hold on, let's check.
That's all she did.
I guess
so
not.
She's not guilty of any big, huge crime.
Right.
She's guilty of getting confused and insecure and just making a bad decision with people yapping in her face and stuff like that. So I really love people to understand that both of them are human, very human, and neither one of them is a bad person. So that's what I see. But like you said, the focus is on, I want Jack and Lily, and I don't. Now, when this first started off, make no doubt about it. I would have strung
Go to bed, PJ. Carry your ass back to sleep.
Daniel fuck up so quick it would have made your head spin.
Yeah, I know you would have.
If it was him that hurt those kids, he was gonna, and his own family. Listen, his uncles and them guys out there, the McKenzie boys, they love their kids. If Daniel hurt those kids, nobody else would have had to punish Daniel because his own family would have. They will not put up with that shit. So
you can see in his other relationship, though, that he always had a kid in his
arm in many of those pictures myself, to be, like I said, so for me, this was, like my job flip-flopped, but I remember watching Slow and Bella, and Daniel had given us puzzle pieces in a sense. And when I listened to Slow and Bella, her line is just like what you were saying. And I was like, oh my God, like that's it. That's exactly what happened, and stuff like that. But then again, I've been flip-flopping because I'm like, as much as I always keep wanting to believe Daniel, because, I keep looking for the genuineness of it all. But so again, just for Daniel, if you are watching, Daniel, just speak your truth, dude. If you want to come up here and talk with us.
The problem with me calling Daniel is there's no phone reception right in his area. Like when he wants to call me, he has to jump in his rig and come a couple miles down the road to a hilltop field to get phone reception, right?
How far do you live from him, approximately?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, are you talking about?
A little less than 20 minutes, maybe.
Well, he can come over to your section and get some Wi-Fi over there then. Now, what I wanted to do, can you hear me still, Derwood?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be amazing you here now. I can listen instead of talking.
No. Please trust me. Everyone, they want to listen to you, but I do want to ask you, or I do want to say something for Malaya. For Malaya personally, I say this. If this was something that went wrong, that went south, Malaya, honestly, just end it. Take accountability for it, and deal with before it gets any worse, and stuff like that on you. Just
exactly. Malaya thinks I think Malaya herself thinks in her mind, she thinks she's guilty of some big crime. And if it came out, if it actually came out and the circumstances were explained, it's a lot more understandable. If it, and like I said, on the internet, everybody jumped so hard right off the start. Oh, Jesus, the kids were abducted. They were sold for a dope bill. They've been sold for sex. It just railroaded so fast on her and Daniel. Like Daniel was scared shitless too at the start of this, man. He was spitting and sputtering and crying. He didn't know what that Christ to do. And I don't know. I don't know how I got lucky enough for him to trust me.
I keep trying to call him, and all I get is a recording. Disappointed face emoji. Hello, Dolly. Answer my call. Cool face emoji. Smiling face with hearts emoji. I listen to you a lot. Heart suit emoji.
Okay, so guys, we're going to take Melissa's call. So I'm going to open the phone lines. Nobody call in unless you, Melissa. She just paid $10 to talk to me, and she's sad. So let's let her call in. All right. So don't call my phone if you ain't Melissa. Okay. Or if your name is Melissa and you ain't this Melissa. The Melissa that super chatted is the only one that needs to call in. Okay. I'm going to open the phone lines now. There's a little delay, so it should take a minute, but I'll start the video back up until she calls.
One fellow spoke saying, and him and Daniel are friends. Matter of fact, they spent a little time together this evening. And by the way, the cops cleared Daniel.
Hello?
Derwood, hold on, let's check.
Hello?
Hello, Dolly. I'm still awake, by the way.
Okay. Is this Melissa?
No, this is Connie.
Okay, Connie, you're going to have to call back in just a few minutes. I'm waiting for a call from Melissa. Okay, Connie's still awake. All right. Connie, lay your head on that pillow like PJ and go your ass to sleep. Okay? We got some cute ladies in here.
We got some cute ladies in here just at saying lol, excuse me for being BG single lol, I'm sorties about the sweaters, like he's making up a storyline.
Okay. Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
Hey, is this Melissa?
Yes, it is.
Okay, you made it, Melissa. What is going on with you tonight?
Thank you. I'm not trying to talk loud because I always get yelled at by other people if I ever talk loud.
Okay.
No, they say it echoes because I don't know how to do it. But anyway, I'm trying.
Okay.
No, I first of all, I listen to your channel. You've talked to me before. It's been a while.
Okay.
But I have a special needs adult daughter who turned 32 today.
Okay.
She's like a 5-year-old in many ways, sometimes a 14-year-old in sassiness, you know.
I got you.
You were talking about
like what happened with your daughter. You know, it happened with my daughter a month ago.
Go ahead.
She was in a van going to her program.
Uh-huh.
And we do not live in an area where this happens. A man in some other car had road rage against someone, not our van, that was carrying 5 disabled adult individuals. But he shot randomly and the driver got shot. My daughter was in that van.
The driver of the van got shot?
Yeah, this young, I mean, the girl's like 31 that's driving it, but my daughter's, you know, like a 5-year-old, like the rest of the people in there, they're all disabled, you know, they're
wow,
mentally challenged adults.
Yeah, I'm glad
so
she's
there
okay.
were 5. Well, yeah, but it was very traumatic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shot came through the back window and went through our driver, who is a sweetheart, who also works with our individuals all day. They don't just drive vans, you know, they do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she got shot, like the bullet came through the back of the driver's seat.
Wow.
My daughter was in that back seat, but on the other side, but the bullet came through the back seat, and the girl, luckily, that was sitting there didn't get shot in the head.
Yeah, just a stray bullet?
Yeah, it shot our driver, and I didn't even know if she was going to be able to walk.
Wow. Yeah, I'm glad everything's okay, though. Your daughter didn't get hit.
Yeah, but can you imagine that call?
Yeah.
And you gotta think about it. My daughter's like a 5-year-old in her head.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people are, you know, like it's traumatic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God, yes, our girl who is driving, who is not just a driver, like she, you know, is awesome to our individuals every day.
The amount of
she's
road
gonna
rage
be
out there is
okay,
crazy.
but she's still not, you know, like she's recovering. Like she could have died.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that was very traumatic. But what I wanted to say is, you know, this thing with, I mean, not thing, but this situation with these 2 in Nova Scotia,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know I only had one child and she's severely, you know, mentally challenged.
Well, she's still your baby no matter what.
Well, she walks around and everything, but my daughter is like a baby, you know, an adult body, but she's...
Yeah, I can understand
that. She just acts like a baby, you know, she's very young. But I don't care. Like, I don't care. I mean, I know I've been extra protective over my daughter because she's been sick since she was born. You know, like she was very sick. Anyway, it's complicated. But anyway, I don't care. Like when your kids are that young, I mean, forever, like they're too little to be wandering around and that everybody's acting like they were asleep. Like, that doesn't sound right to me at all.
There's definitely something going on. I don't know exactly what.
No, me neither. I'm very confused. But
somebody in that house knows what happened to these children.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I have a motherly instinct, like most mothers do, and I'm sorry. I mean, they're too little to not be awake and know your kids are, you know, running around the house or going outside or whatever. I mean,
definitely
if you don't have an instinct, you know, I mean, I'm not saying some people don't sleep a little and then realize, oh, shoot, the kid's up. But not the way they played it. No, doesn't sound right to me.
Definitely not.
And I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it, you know.
I think they're going to find out what happened to these kids. It's just a matter of time.
I know. It makes me sick, though. Like every one of these cases make me ill. Like Sebastian, what the hell?
Yeah.
And, you know, Summer, I mean, it just makes me like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially, I really can't get it because I have a child for life. My daughter turned 32 today. I'm going to be 64 next week, you know?
Well,
And
happy
I've
birthday
raised
to
her
her.
alone.
Tell her we said happy birthday.
Thank you. And she's a kid for life. So, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I wouldn't like, there's nothing, I mean, she's my whole life.
Yeah.
I can't imagine these people that hurt their own kids. It just, whoa.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. Well, hey, look, I appreciate you calling and sharing with us.
Oh, thank you, Dolly.
You have a great night.
Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, you too.
All
okay.
right. Peace.
Bye. Peace.
Okay. She, you know, I'm glad her daughter's okay, and happy birthday to her daughter. Listen, you know, it don't matter if your kid's mentally challenged, not mentally challenged. That's your baby, you know, and that's going to be your baby for the rest of your life. And I'm just glad that, you know, nothing bad happened to her child, especially, you know, you're already battling. You got an uphill battle, especially in life when you have special needs. And it's good that she's there for her child, you know, especially with her child being grown and needing that extra help, you know. So, you know, I understand it. I understand, you know, it's easy to freak out and panic, right? When the littlest thing happens with your kids, right? Because you love them. You're supposed to flip out. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to be emotional. And when you're not, that's when we think you did something, right? Now, if anybody else wants to call that's on sleepy time medicines or a little hammered, you're more than welcome, right? Peggy PJ's breakfast money plus her other enjoy. Now,
PJ breakfast money plus her other enjoy.
Phone calls at this point are $1 a minute if you want to call in hammered. All right, I want to see a super chat and then you can call. Because if not, let's get through a crying shames interview. It's a little long, but we're almost there, I think.
But they're still all over them. And the bastards are even on me quite a little bit.
Yeah.
And now one more point I want to make, and I'll hang whatever questions you want to ask me. Go ahead. I really appreciate the way of your ability to have understanding conversation. Yeah, but one more thing I want to say is now I forgot what I just wanted to say.
I don't know. Geez. I wish I could help you out there. Ken, did you know what he wanted to say?
Yeah, somebody tell me what I wanted to say, will you?
You guys in chat. It's like I was listening, and the minute you asked what you were saying, it was like, wait a second, freaking, you were saying, you basically were saying that, basically, thank you for, I know that you said thank you for, you know, basically listening.
Derwood said so much she done zoned out. I mean, it happens. You know what I'm saying?
And stuff like that, but
Dolly psychiatrist line. I'm going to change my number up to, like, you remember back in the 90s, early 2000s, they had the 1-900 number, or you could call like a psychic hotline, but it cost you like $2.99 a minute, right? That's how I'm going to start doing my phone calls. All right, it's going to cost you $1 a minute. You can talk as long as you want. Okay. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, so I think that would calm down some of the trolling calls, or like some of the calls where people are just, I don't know. I might get a Lamborghini out of it. You know, I could use a Lamborghini. It'd be nice. I really don't want a Lamborghini. I'm just calling Miss Cleo, Dolly. Yeah, like Miss Cleo. You want to call in? It's $1 a minute. Okay. Hit my super chats and I open the phone lines. And I think that would calm it down a little bit, because I wouldn't want to charge people $1 to talk to me though. But some of these people I would. Okay. Some of you need to be paying me $1 a minute. Psychiatrist fee. Okay. Psychiatrist fee. I might have to set that in motion. Okay. $1 a minute. You want to talk for 5 minutes? $5. You want to talk for 1 minute? $1. $1. I'll troll call you one day, says Jay. All right. We might have to put that in effect.
have an understanding of some things you can't control in your life and some things
Charge
you
more for
have to,
repeat callers. Yeah, right.
Like either both Daniel and Malaya, they haven't had
You should pay us.
and everybody will come out of this a lot better. We'll come out of this a lot better if we kindly support these two kids. And they've made their mistakes. And if anybody here can tell me they haven't made a bad mistake and they're over 15 years
Especially
old.
on wine night.
Right.
So Jesus Christ, understand in this situation, and like I said, if these kids were hurt or murdered or
Yeah, Deb's right. The tiki bar tip jar. You want to call in? You got to hit the tip jar, okay? And I'll answer the phone for you. So, yeah. I just bought some new little tiki things for my tiki bar, and them shits were $40 a pop. So, tiki fun.
or anything like that, or sexually abused, I'd be the first one to take a baseball bat or some kind of tool and straighten things out if the cops didn't. I know what I wanted to say now.
Go ahead.
So don't think that I wouldn't very quickly punish somebody for one of these crimes that everybody's been blaming on them. But none of that applies here. None of that applies at all. Now, what I want to say, I think the RCMP just proved my point about a bunch of goddamn clowns there in their circus act. This thing's been going on, 6.5 weeks now? Now, you explain to me why all of a sudden after 6.5...
Now, Jay, if they find these kids and them sweaters are there, we got a problem. All right? Jay, I ain't forget about the sweaters, what he said. If she plants something, or if he did something he's trying to cover for himself so he can say she planted them, I don't know. But you got to remember, he's open about what he's saying, and she's not. We got to keep that in consideration. Like, is he overdoing it, and she's like not doing anything? I tend to lean towards the persons that's not trying to find the kids. You know, why not? You know, these are your kids. You should be crying and begging the news people to cover the story and out there giving interviews and searching and she's doing nothing. Right? A ramble fee. Yes. Right? We're going to do $5 a call. I got bills to pay. All right, bills to pay. Mouths to feed.
Weeks they got to put out $150,000 goddamn incentive for the public to solve their case for them.
Yeah.
That pisses me off royally.
Yeah.
This should have been solved in 2 or 3 days.
You would think. You would have thought,
yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the one thing I do want to say.
Now, you know, we live in 2025 where interrogations ain't the same. You can't hit somebody with a phone book. You can't abuse them. I think criminals have too many rights. Okay. Too many rights. And we got to go back to the old days where we can get answers. $5 make you holler. Okay. It's $5 to holler. Anybody want to call in? Hit up super chat. I'll open the phone lines. All right. That way the damn shit ain't ringing in my sore ear. Okay. Until I get this water out my ear.
I don't ask kiss, so don't think I'm ass kissing here because I don't ask kiss anybody. But I do want to say that I can tell with you, Derwood, that meaning you're a logical thinker. You're looking at all ends of this case, and you know, doing your own sleuthing and whatever, right? It's kind of like myself, I think, and Charmaine and others like Kent here. You know, you think logically, common sense, and then you're looking for where the truth lies. And so you're looking to see that, Daniel, you're verifying some facts of his, finding out that it seems like he's telling the truth, and that this is a case where Malaya has done something, that went sideways, and right. And that honestly, and so I do see that in you, right? Obviously you're not some dumbass. That's just.
Well, no, I'm not too bright. I'm extending myself pretty hard on this. Usually I just wanted to sit around and mushroom or whatever. I don't like exercising my brain because it has been exercised too much. I like to keep it simple.
Sitting around a mushroom.
So that's about enough. And
No.
and I'm sure there's somebody else might want to talk to you, so you can kick me off anytime you want. Yeah, but I
Well,
don't know if there's any other questions I can answer for you or not. There's another little tidbit I can tell you.
What?
Man, you should listen to what Daniel says about the blanket thing that got turned up on the side of the road.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that, please. Because, yeah.
That blanket, out there, they only get garbage. They only get garbage removal like something about once a week, and sometimes not for 2 weeks. So the story is unconfirmed by me, but told to me by somebody who's been telling me the truth over and over and over. So the blanket thing was one of the kids' blankets, but it was pretty bad shape, so they decided to throw it in the garbage. So they got a garbage bin inside the house there, so there was some stuff in the garbage bag, and that blanket was one of the things that was stuffed in the garbage bag. So anyway, Daniel noticed after the kids were gone missing that somebody had gotten into the garbage bag and ripped the garbage bag and went to pull that blanket out of it, but the blanket was rotten, and that's why there's only a piece of blanket. That blanket ended up the road hanging from a tree, and it wasn't there for the first day. Actually, it wasn't there for the first. It never showed up, I don't believe, until the second day on the side of the road. Because don't forget, Daniel's got family that lives up the dirt road, and they travel back and forth. And they said they never saw that. They wouldn't see the blanket.
Oh Lord, here we go. Dolly.
What's cracking, Dolly?
What's up, Tony?
Not much, man. I only got 3 cents, so my time's up.
Okay.
10-4, bro.
All right, peace. All right, you better super chat me that 3 cents too. Let me shut this damn phone line. $1 a minute. $1 a minute. He had 3 seconds. Okay. He had 3 seconds. I want my 3 cents too, Tony. All right. My damn water bill is $800. That was my water bill. Good Lord. I seen that water bill, almost had a stroke. Okay. And I ain't talking about the back stroke. I'm talking about almost had a front stroke. $800 damn water bill. Good Lord. I ain't drinking no water this week. I ain't taking a shower for a month. I'm gonna be the most stinkiest YouTuber you can find. $800. That's how much my water bill was. $800. Good Lord. So no baths this week. I'm not washing clothes. I ain't drinking no water. Nothing. I'm just gonna be stank ass, and that's it. Okay. So all super chats tonight go to my water bill. Filling up that pool, right? Filling up that pool got me $800 water bill. Good Lord. Damn. That pool filling ain't cheap. Nah, that wasn't cheap. Nah, hell nah. Don't even flush the toilet this week. You just, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. Put a bucket in the shower and catch the water. Right? Right. We got to do some recycling around this bitch. What did they think I was, damn Mr. Beast, when they sent me that water bill? I was like, what? The fire department can do it for free. I ain't never heard of that. I wish they would. Okay. I wish they would have. $800 later. Good Lord. Good Lord.
Part of the blanket sticking in the tree. It's like a sore thumb out there.
Right.
And then the blueprint. I want to say this. Do you know who found the blanket? The blanket piece in the tree?
We just heard that it was family that took them there.
That's right. Malaya's friends and family.
Malaya's.
Do you know who found the blueprint up on the pipeline?
Malaya's friends and family?
Malaya's friends and family. They all the evidence except for one little thing. That the only thing the searchers found, and I'm pretty sure now some searcher might come on here and say, "Oh, I'm full of shit," that they did find something else, but I don't think so. And there was some stuff went missing out of the trailer Daniel checked on too, and he reported this to the Mounties because what he was scared of, that somebody took this stuff, because he was sure somebody planted this evidence.
Right.
And there was some other stuff missing of his, and he was sure that he was going to that somebody was going to try to blame him to make it look like an abduction, and that he did it down the line. So he reported this to the Mounties right off the start to protect. And it was a smart move on his behalf.
Yeah.
He had 2 sweaters, a water bottle, and something else were taken out of his.
What was it about those sweaters? Because you know, obviously when people listen to it, that it was something like, well, if there's 2 sweat like that. I mean, obviously he was typing in Dolly yesterday and stuff like that, but he's mentioned something about these 2 sweaters, and it's like, well, if they're found with the kids, you know, it almost came across like I didn't have anything to do with it. She took them with her. So what is it about those 2 sweaters?
Well, that's what he was worried about, that these people, like, they took the blanket, they took the part of the blanket out and set that up to make it look like an abduction down the road. They took the boot print, they set the boot print up on the pipeline to make it look like the kids were in the woods. So they were sort of splitting things up. And there was another couple little things that they found. Now the searchers were all through there, and they never found this stuff. But all of a sudden, Malaya's half-sister found most of it.
I don't think they do that here.
Malaya's sister found everything. I think she found the half sister. I think she found the blanket hanging in the tree. She found the boot print up on the pipeline, and I mean, one boot print up by itself up on a pipeline, and I don't even think it was the right size for the kids, from what Daniel tells me. And initially, Daniel denied that was the blanket because he was panicking too. He thought, "Holy jeez, that makes it look like I abducted the kids." So I'm going to say that it wasn't the blanket. But now, see, he's
because go ahead. No, go ahead.
And now he's worried about. He was worried about when he found the 2 sweaters and a water bottle, and I believe there was something else, 1 or 2 things. There was 3 or 4 items missing out of his house, right at that time, and he was sure the same people that were.
Okay, I just Googled it. It said the fire department does not fill up swimming pools because their water is non-potable, and it could contain rust and other different things in the water. So they do not fill up swimming pools. You can get a water truck to come out, fill it up, which costs you, or you can fill it with city water and it costs you. So there's no, here where I'm at, there's no free way to fill a swimming pool. Plus the swimming pool's already filled and I already got the bill. So I could have waited for it to rain 100 times, right?
Sort of planting this evidence, we're going to set
the
that
water
stuff
bill
up for
found.
later on.
Lamau. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Thank you.
Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Yeah.
Rolling on the floor laughing emoji. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Hey, $5 adds up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right.
And he reported that the first day.
Okay.
So the Mounties had a record of that, and what he was hoping too, and I'm sure the Mounties were hoping, was that when this stuff turned up, they already knew that it was missing, so that would have probably given them a lead on who put it there. So it was a smart move on Daniel's behalf, and it made him look guilty. It made him look stupid, like you just said. A lot of people didn't understand. He wasn't explaining it very clearly as to what he was talking about in the 2 sweaters a few times in the water bottle.
Right.
But once you talk to him and you get it, you listen to him, and once Daniel relaxes with you, the more you're with him, the more he relaxes and he chills out and he's easier to understand, and then he feels. Daniel's not overly confident either as far as like an aggressive man. Daniel's not aggressive.
I see that.
Once you become his friend, he calms down. He gets comfortable with you. I'm like that myself. Some strangers I'm not comfortable with.
Do you get to see me in a little bathing suit? No. I'm wearing my bathing suit right now, believe it or not.
And I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you can see that though in his
sweater. Yeah.
Like you can see that in his personality. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
These are not vicious people. These are not the kind of people that.
Something that went.
Well, I've already
sideways.
said that enough. These are not the kind of people that kill kids or sell them for drugs or anything like that. So it's just not there. And as far as killers go, there's just no killers around over there.
Well,
there's a couple killers around this county, and I probably know them. And they're guys you if you're going to have to mess with them, well, you're going to have to get serious, because there is some bad ones around here, serious guys. But most of the people
Dolly
that I
Hatchet.
know, we just sort of tend to stay away from them. We don't deal with them and give them space. I think that's normal for most people. So and like I say, Daniel and his family, the Mackenzie boys out there, I had little arguments with them over the years, a couple of them, but we smoothed it out. We got along. We never killed each other, and we smoothed it out. We talk. We're friendly. We meet each other in the mall or something. We have conversation and friendly. But all these guys is rural country people that are tough boys and hardworking people trying to make a living just like the rest of us. And I'll tell you one thing, it's like I said before, these people love their kids. If it was found out that Daniel hurt these kids, I don't think he'd ever make it out of his own family's house. Because they would not put up with it any more than I put up with it with my family. They will.
Yeah. You know,
they run it.
When I watched his interview today, like the full version, and
thank you, Diamond.
when I watched the full version, honestly, I was just like watching his body movement. Honestly,
I need to be on OnlyFans. I need to be on Ugly Fans. Is there uglyfans.com? Okay. $19.99. You can see me on Ugly Fans.
Don't feel like he's lying. Like everything in me said, like, okay, now I don't want to say completely honest. I'll say not completely, because obviously there was a story that was told that morning. And again, it could just have been for protection of Malaya in a sense, you know, I get that. Right. But when I was watching his interview today, I'm looking at his body. It's very relaxed. It's like, he is a very kind of soft spoken type of person. And I can see that. So I'm not blind to that. But what's been really hard is the fact that we got Malaya's one interview. And then because Daniel, and this is where texts and that get twisted around versus a voice, like how you're talking, right? Because texts can easily get twisted very easily. The context
gets screwed right up.
Yeah.
Actually, Daniel and I had quite a rough little conversation here, probably an hour and a half or so ago, because I had mentioned I was sort of arguing with that Justin guy, and Daniel got a report. What I said, Daniel, said there was quite a few people telling Daniel that I was online saying that he was an abuser. And what I was saying is, as far as abuse goes, I said some people believe that a slap in the arse for a kid when he's being bad is abuse. Some people don't. And I said if Daniel slapped these kids in the arse when they were being bad a little bit, I don't consider that abuse. I consider that, or maybe it's old style or whatever. I consider that discipline. Mm-hmm. And see, there's another difference between Malaya and Daniel. I believe that Malaya considered a slap in the arse of abuse, and Daniel, but yet the kids wouldn't listen to Malaya very good. They for a couple of reasons. When Meadow came along, I think the kids were jealous of Meadow a little bit, and Malaya paid a lot more attention to Meadow than she did the other two kids. So Daniel was trying to fill that in, and so Daniel, the kids were kind of heedless with Malaya, but they'd obey Daniel a little better because he had the respect, and he probably got. And I'm not saying he did because he never told me this, but I'm pretty sure he probably gave them a slap on the arse, just a little here and there to get them to just sort of discipline.
That must be Canadian. Arse. A little slap on the arse.
A little bit.
Right. I get it.
But if you classify that as abuse, now, like I said, if I think somebody caught, like you said, and part of it was text too, I think. Mm-hmm. And when I said, if you classify that as abuse, well, I guess Daniel's guilty of abuse, and then that went all the fucking hell.
Well, it really is. A text to tone can be, and like some of his comments that I seen, Fred, he was saying in Dolly, again, the chat's going by fast. Sometimes he's answering things, but they will easily get twisted around. That's why to me, when somebody is actually talking And those are the words coming out. You know, you can hear the tone, you know, you can hear, again, you can hear the feelings behind it, the tone and the words properly. So I appreciate this. Like I would prefer any day to talk with somebody one-on-one than to be sitting there texting a bunch of different crap, to be honest with you.
That you can even see, like you can't see me, and that's probably a lucky thing for you, but I can see
because
you.
you're handsome.
I can sort of judge your facial expression and that, and I can sort of judge your body movements, and that's, I believe that's part of communication.
Absolutely.
That gives you more context.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
that's why. It's why I don't like to hide really behind an avatar unless I'm having a puff of my vape or something like that, or need to go to the bathroom. It's because my own personal feeling is, I like it to, like, I want people to, like, literally, you know, see me and see me exactly the facials or whatever as we're talking about it.
I agree with that. I hate YouTubers that hide behind an avatar. How can I believe what the hell an avatar is saying? I want to see the person that is giving me the information. I want to see ass, right? We live in an era where people, you know, they hide who they are, and then they get up here and spew a bunch of shit. I can't stand that. How do you argue with an avatar? You can't.
Some channels, they just hide behind an avatar all day long. It's not my way. I think you can communicate, or that people, the viewers, they want to see the actual person on a screen than looking at some dumb avatar all day long. No offense to you. This has nothing to do with you. I just mean it's my personal. I'm old school too, as you know, Derwood. Again, it's one of those things, you know.
I can tell you sound like a country girl. I don't know if you're a country girl or not, but you sound like you were. I don't think you were brought up in a big city at a ballet school, or an English literature college.
Yeah.
But you're doing great. As far as who am I? I'm not anybody to say that you're doing great, but I appreciate your communication. I seem to be able to communicate well with you, and that there's at times that I don't communicate well with people because I don't know what it is. I got a very strange sense of humor sometimes.
I got a great sense of humor, but and I'm not meaning for you to go at this second here, but I know it's getting late there. But you tell Daniel, if you're watching this, you tell Daniel, you get your ass on up here and you say your piece about the case.
Matter of fact, I can send him a message on Messenger and hope he gets it. So I'll message him and tell him to try to get on there.
We're here for Jack and Lily and the truth. That's it. So if there's information that he legitly just wants to put out there, instead of these, like, you know, these games, we're not into games at all. This is about Jack and Lily. And
this is
A to Z.
This is a serious issue, and it's too goddamn serious for people to be conjecturing and saying a bunch of shit. I know this, and I know. Like the first thing, oh jeez, it drove me crazy. These goddamn people. I answered a few people, and they were saying, "Oh, did you check the septic?" As if the cops wouldn't check under the trailer. Did you check the septic tank? Oh, did you check under that blue tarp? And well, I fucking started answering them back, and I said, "Well, did you check the bowl in the back of the toilet? Did you check the gas tank in the lawnmower? Did you, come on?"
Did you check the gas tank in the lawnmower? People do be doing that. Like, they think the cops are absolutely stupid. Listen, I don't think the cops are the brightest people, not all cops. But I don't think, you make it the detective and you just a dumbass. Because you think about this. How many YouTubers have put people in prison? All right? It's usually good detective work. Police usually make the arrest. I haven't seen any YouTubers arresting anybody. Okay. So, I mean, people say the crazy shit. Have they checked the wells? Of course they're going to check those things. They're going to check everything. Anything that we can think of, they think of. And they're going to be checking it.
People, come on.
I know.
There's thousands and thousands of them. They keep saying the same shit over and over.
Yeah, see, but those, for me, right, because like I said, you got to ignore the stupid shit out there, because there are people from a different planet for sure out there. But, the more, even those people, they're following the case because they care, even if they have a twisted sense of thought or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. There's one chat going by here. This Eliza Knockwood. I just want to tell her. She said that suspected vehicle should be reported. It's too serious to be sitting on information and holding anything back. And I just like to tell her, just because I give the impression that I don't like the cops and the assholes, I can guarantee you that was reported. So don't worry about that. The vehicle suspicion and that was reported.
Yeah.
The only and it was reported from different people, including Daniel, including me, including some other people. So like I reported. They know everything. They know everything I know, except for the names of the people that I believe are the best candidates that were in that pickup vehicle.
Right.
And I won't tell them that because, number one, until I prove it, it's only speculation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to accuse anybody of something that I'm sure they never did. And the other thing is, okay, and by the way, the Jordan, I think he's one of the head guys in the major crime unit. Him and I had a pretty stiff little conversation for a few minutes. He was pretty dirty at me. He threatened me with holdback evidence and interfering with
Who did?
He interfering with an investigation in that because I wouldn't tell him my suspected names in this, right? And I wouldn't tell him how I came to those conclusions because I told him stuff before and I don't think they acted on it. But and that's not the main reason I wouldn't enlighten them on that. The main reason I wouldn't enlighten them on that, and I said directly to him, I said, okay, I'm going to tell you why. I said, you can charge me if you want. We'll see you in court. And I think you'll be pretty well laughed at a court because my claim will be that you're expecting me to tell you speculation with no proof. So
right.
I don't think the charges are going to fly for you. So as far as I'm concerned, go do what you got to do and see you later.
Yeah.
But then he said, well, why can you tell me how you came to this conclusion? And I said, no, I'm not going to tell you that either. Because I said I never even finished the conclusion yet. But I said, okay, say I drop a name on you right now. Okay? He said, yeah. I said, what are you going to do if I drop a name on you right now? He said, well, I'm going to go investigate. I said, by investigation, and all you have is a name, you're going to go speak to the person and interview them. Am I correct? He said, yes. I said, so, okay, let's say that person is the driver or is a person that was right in the pickup vehicle. You're going to go talk to them and they're going to deny, no, I wasn't anywhere near them.
It's going to talk to Phil.
You think they're going to admit it to you? And then when they don't admit it to you and you walk away from there with your goddamn finger stuck in your goddamn ear, what do you think they're going to do?
Hey, I just had my finger in my ear. I got an earache. I got eardrops in it, so it's kind of like splashing around. So I'm sitting. He's talking about people put fingers in their ear. I'm sitting here, got my finger in my ear. But I got swimmer's ear there, Derwood. It happens.
They're
Hey,
going to
Wells.
call the people they took the kids to, and then the kids are either going to be shuffled around, moved again, or else maybe they'll panic and think we got to get rid of those kids because somebody's on to us, and that's what I feared. We'll get rid of those kids. We'll get rid of the evidence, and that's why I went on Dolly first, and that's why I think I even said it on yours. I threatened the people. That's why I was kind of ignorant and harsh, and I told them, you fucking idiots that have those kids. We are closing in on you. And if I could have talked to Malaya, that's what I was talking about. I was coming awful close. And I told them online, I said, I swear I could too sometimes. I said, you fucking idiots that have those kids, I want you.
Yeah, he's been on here a few times. He called in the first day we talked, and then he said he was going to stir the pot a little bit. And then he called in the second day. And then right after that, Daniel came in. So yeah, the grandmother watches. I tell people all the time, all these people watch me. I don't know why, but every case I've ever covered, the family has been in the room. The only case where a family member didn't reach out to me was Maddie Soto. And I guarantee you, Jen was watching the videos, but she never contacted. She never talked to anybody. But that's the only case where a family member has not reached out to me.
You really got to think about this. We're zeroing in on you. We already almost know who you are. So if you panic and hurt those kids now, we're going to find you anyway, and it's only going to go a lot worse on you. So your best bet You know we're coming. I'm telling you we're coming. You know we're coming. Your best bet is to take those fucking kids, put them out into the daylight, bring them to a place where we can get them. And I even told a couple people.
Good morning, Melissa.
I didn't do this online because, well, the cops want to fucking shoot me anyway. I told a couple people that are friends of the people that I'm suspicious of to get a message to them.
Navy, we call that channel Monkey Boy here, okay? Or Tumbleweed Plugs. We don't promote that man's channel. He's a piece of shit.
That I'd make a deal with them that if they handed me over those fucking kids, I would guarantee them that I would never open my mouth where the kids came from. And I knew if I did that, if that would have worked, I knew I was going to take a beating, but by geez, we'd have those kids.
That's all we want. That's all we want.
So the whole thing fell apart when Malaya's family advised her not to talk to me.
Well,
and all I want to do now, number one, like you said, I'd love to find those kids, but I don't have any other avenues that I can see where to try. And besides that, I'm worn out. My woman's pissed off at me because I've spent a lot of time on this, and it's upsetting her a little bit. It's upsetting her life a little too much, and yet I'm OCD. I can't seem to let it go. I should.
You know what, and I get it. You know, I honestly, like for me personally,
I bet so, Mandy.
It's one of those things like you know, I mean, I've put myself into a lot of this case, and I've probably worn myself out for sure. That's why I needed a nap today, you know, because I'm doing it regardless. I'm doing it for, you know, Belinda, but obviously it's because we care about this case. But, you know, Belinda, you know, I just always, I've appreciated the information because it's about Jack and Lily, and I appreciate, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, one thing here now. I just struck me. It might be a good move. I might seem like a fool. I'm not really worried about looking like a fool by trying some of this stuff, because it just might pay off. So if people on here want to think I'm a fool or an arsehole, well, that just carry on.
Arsehole. Okay. Now that channel we were just watching is a crime and shame. If you want to check out the full video, make sure you go over there, add her, sub up the channel, tell them Dolly sent you, all that good stuff. Okay. Really good channel. Definitely far as coverage on this case. So they've given some really good information in this. So that's why I watch them, is I like how they're sleuths just like us. Right. So make sure you check them out, all that good stuff. Now, you know, I told everybody here, you know, it's up to you guys if you believe this guy or not. Derwood O'Grady, is that what it is? Derwood O'Grady? If you believe him or not. Now, some people may say he's a busybody or he's the gossip of the town. But listen, people that sit around and talk to everybody and talk like this, he may hold some information. And right now, I believe he is the middle person between the two families because the families are fighting. Okay. And so he may do some good in this case. And look at the information he's put out so far has been pretty accurate according to Daniel. So, you know, he's saying they took Malaya, not Meadow. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I keep saying that. But every day this case is heating up, and that's what we want. We don't want the case to go cold. We don't want people not talking about it. We want people stirring the pot. Like, look, the whole internet was talking about Daniel today, just being up here sharing that stuff he shared. It had a lot of people talking about Jack and Lily. Even that creator, Joseph Morris, with 631,000 subscribers. That's what we need. Okay. We need these big people talking about it. So we want to stir the pot as much as we can. So whatever it takes, even if it's a little bit a circus act. People show up to the circus. Okay, that's why they have them: lions, tigers, and bears. Some of it's a lot of speculation, but just remember that these kids could be easily forgotten, and we don't want that. Okay, so thank God that Daniel's showing up talking. Derwood O'Grady is showing up talking. It's helping stir the pot. If we stir the pot enough, we may find where these children are at. But continue to share the pictures on my Facebook group. Post my Facebook group for Jack and Lily Sullivan. I'm going to go through the picture, the missing poster tomorrow, and I'm going to do some giveaways. Okay. I've seen all you guys that shared it. Thank you so much. So tomorrow I'll pick a few of those people that have been sharing that picture, and I will do some giveaways. But if you haven't joined that group yet, definitely join the group. I think we're about 3,000 in the group. So did Daniel come on and update us how the CPS case went today? No, but I'm going to reach out to him and see if I can personally talk to him. Not live, but just behind the scenes, you know. And here's the thing, guys. I don't sneak record phone calls or nothing like that. And if he tells me don't share something, I don't share it. I only share stuff people allow me to share. I'm not a snake. I ain't a slithering ass. Well, I ain't one of those YouTubers. So I would like to sit and talk with him for a few minutes. And if he's not comfortable coming on the live on YouTube, that's perfectly fine. But I like to sit and chat with him for a minute, just to get to know him a little bit. Because the more you know of a person, the more you can kind of gauge who they are. And I don't really know who this guy is. You know, I don't get enough of that from his interviews to really tell what kind of person Daniel is. So I just like to sit and shoot the shit with him for a little bit. And come to my own conclusions what this guy is. Now listen, to me, everybody's a suspect. Malaya, Daniel, everybody.
Lily and Jack, Canada emoji, sparkling heart emoji, go to end of life Dolly. Keeping it real, sparkling heart emoji, Canada emoji.
Go to the end of your life? Is that what you're saying? A crying shame? You didn't have to give me money. You could have just threw stop signs in there. You know what I'm saying? I don't usually, you know, when other YouTubers give me money, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's a little weird, but thank you. Yeah. So yes. Okay. Give me a second. Do you have a timestamp? It's a crying shame. Go to the end of it. Like how much of the end? Like about where? You did a 3-hour video. You like me. You make them long ass videos. Just let me know. Just in where messages are new. Huh? I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. I see it now. All this? All right, let's.
We're taking screenshots and stuff, and you're saying something in that chat that your interview the day before said something different. They're gonna attack it, and they're on it, and you just have to know. And if you're not sure of something, just put "I think" or "I can't remember," but, or you know what I mean. Like you got to be super clear when you're not using your words or your voice and you're texting. You got to be super clear because trust me, they took our conversation and fucking ran with it like unbelievable
without the context behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So last night I was trying to ask questions, and I don't whether he saw him, was ignoring him or not. I was trying to give you the opportunity just to clarify that one thing because I knew people were going to be all over it, and they were.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. No. So let's we'll get on with this, guys. We know it's getting late there over on the East Coast side. Here on the West Coast side, it's still 8:14. I got time, and I got my 2 days off, Charmaine. 2 days. Count them. 2 days.
Awesome.
They go by fast, though. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to make the screen bigger. I haven't even read. I've only read a few sentences in all of this. I believe it's in order, but if it's not, don't shoot the messenger. I've been trying to put it together as I went from the start to the end. But anyways, we'll go through this conversation again. Thank you, Belinda. Thank you for the fight for Jack and Lily. That's what we want. Please hit that like and share button if you have not. Okay, so I'm just I'll make this bigger. I'll take us off. Okay, so let's see here. I told investigators to polygraph her family, and they are. Have you mentioned this to the police? I work with detectives. So obviously Daniel's in the black and Belinda's in the blue. And then, okay, sorry. That's why this can't get out. Okay. Oh, well, it's out. Belinda said I could share it. If it does, then I lose my in with the investigators. What about Hayden? I'm not sure on that. One, I'd watch out. He used to be close to Malaya. Why no media standing up for Jack and Lily? Even the natives pulled back and don't want involvement. And then it says something about an interview yesterday. And then it said CBC, right? And Belinda says, yes. Yeah, I did a set I just did an on-set interview that was over an hour long with cameraman, producers, and interviewers. It's out Tuesday. Okay, so this is obviously, I'm not sure what actually date this was, but it's out on Tuesday, which came out. So this is previous conversation of that. Again, I just kind of threw it up there, and I'm just reading it along here now too. I think after that comes out, the world will turn on Malaya. Let me go. Hold on. Gotta go down. Whoops. Right here. Let me just make sure on Malaya. Malaya didn't want to be anywhere near Cody. She was afraid to even drive anywhere close even. Don't worry. I have a guy on the inside now. I can't say more than that because evidence is mounting. The only problem is it's going to be hard for someone to give up the kid's location. The amount of jail time for this would be unheard of. Don't say anything to anyone about this conversation. Okay. Yes. Okay, so he's on. Okay, so apparently, okay, so, Belinda said yes to this, so I'm going with it. Well, Jack and Lily, so whatever. YOLO. Okay. I won't, but that doesn't make sense because Cody didn't live here. He was in Truro. He's only moved back 10 months ago. She was afraid that she would be there, and he would know. Sorry, she was afraid that she would be there and he would show up. I'm being honest. During the time he even lived in Cape Breton. During that time, sorry, my bad. Yes, but look who Malaya is. I think we finally know that her and her family are a little crazy. Maybe more than a little. Okay. He had no interest in her or the kids, sadly. Oops, sorry, guys. I know, but Malaya's whole life has been nothing but negative. She found me, then she was happy. But Cindy didn't like seeing her daughter happy. Now look at this mess. Lily and Jack are innocent and... Okay. Where did it leave off? And they never deserve this. Breaks my heart. The last time she was here with the kids, she told us that you weren't happy about it. So we told her to bring you along if that would help.
And then Daniel says, do you think Malaya was a trustworthy person? At this point, I would not trust a word out of her mouth. You see her fighting for Jack and Lily. I think that's supposed to be do you. Her family has been saying fucked up shit to CPS. That's why I can't see Meadow. Malaya and her family have done so much wrong, and not to Jack and Lily, but to everyone. They are giving supervised visits, though now she never always spoke to the truth, but I really thought she was a good mom. So this is Belinda. I don't know when it changed. I raised Jack and Lily. I potty trained them. I played outside with them. I taught the kids how to zipper their coats. I did it all. She played on her phone all day. She doesn't know how to raise kids. Okay. The kids used to hit and bite her and scratch her. She had no control over them. Belinda says, well, that part sounds about right. I can see the kids acting out on her. I know a lot of moms who let their kids get away with too much. No, she had zero control over them. I raised Lily and Jack. They just see her as the girl that makes food for them. I know this sounds bad, but I'm being honest. I don't lie. It hurts when I tell the truth, but I can't lie because that's all the world is nowadays. People can judge me all they want, but I just like being honest. And that's okay. So that was the messages. Okay. So, on that one. So, Jermaine.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
What up?
The sky.
You know what? I don't have a whole lot of thoughts with this because my internet is glitching in and out. So I caught maybe 10% of that.
Oh.
I didn't.
Okay.
Am I frozen now?
No problem. Do you want me just to send them over to you? Do you want me just to send them to you? Okay. On there. At the end of the day, regardless, this is about Jack and Lily. And sorry, Charmaine, send. Okay. I sent them to you. And if you go to the very first one, Charmaine, like meaning the first one should be I told investigators, and then it just goes backwards from there. Okay. Daniel's comments to Belinda. Okay.
I got to see the messages. I'm over here drooling. I had put some medicine on my tooth. Like I got this bone spur from my jaw when they pulled my back tooth, and it's stabbing. And they gave me this medicine to put on it, but it numbs until it heals. The only thing is it makes like half my tongue numb. It makes it weird when I talk, and it makes me drool really bad. So while I had the camera off, I'm sitting here putting meds on the back of my gum, and it's like, kind of, it numbs everything up, but it also makes me drool like I need a bib. Right. So I'm over here wiping off drool off my face. Trust me, y'all don't want to see it. Y'all don't want to see it. But ouch, my ex-husband had that. Yeah, it's terrible. It is terrible. I got the worst luck. When they pulled the tooth, it hurt. Now it still hurts. It's been a couple weeks. It's not healed. I asked the dentist, I said, if it's going to heal, and she was like, well, when you're older, it takes time for stuff to heal. And I'm like, there's literally a bone sticking out. It's little. It's almost like a splinter in my gums, right? And it effing hurts, and it keeps like cutting the side of my tongue. I know this. I'm about to make me an appointment with a new dentist and see what they can do. This whole, it'll heal shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it needs to be grinded down, my bone or whatever, but it completely sucks. I can tell you that. But with that said, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here because my face is starting to hurt. I know it's probably killing y'all. So y'all tell me what y'all think about all this stuff that's going on with Daniel and Malaya. I know a lot of you guys have been telling me throughout the night, and I definitely want to thank you guys for the 69,000 subscribers. We're on a road to 70K. Okay. So if you haven't, I pulled my bone spur. I've been like scraping at it, kind of like trying to, get it not to be so sharp. And I'm gonna go get a different dentist. It's gonna cost me a lot. Probably, I don't know if my insurance. I got shitty insurance, so that's part of the problem. So I don't know. I might have to have a Dolly damn tooth fundraiser because this is a nightmare. It's been killing me for 2 weeks, and it's just like I am so over it. I'm so over it. I just got terrible luck. Really 69,000 already. Yeah, we hit 69,000 tonight. So thank you guys. I did it too with tweezers. That sounds great and all, but I need some stuff for pain to do that. It's like, and it ain't little. It's pretty big. It's like wherever, like, it sucks. That's the best way I can describe it. It sucks. I'll see you guys in the morning. I don't know exactly what time, but usually I try to put out a video by 2 o'clock every day. So be expecting a new video. And I'll see you guys sometime tomorrow afternoon live. All right. Y'all be good. Stay safe. And remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you. Peace.